York Giant fans, what is going on, everybody? What's going on, Karambite? What's going on, Coffins? What's going on, Moose? What's going on, Joseph, Afghanistan, Green Eyes in the house, Sean Torres in the house, Chris Leone, Dana, Gidio, Bavith, you friggin' lunatic. I saw Sonora's in here, Yaman's in here, Marjorie's in here, Moose is in here, Midwest Sports. We are Penn State. What is going on? What are you guys? What are you guys gonna call and ask me what the Giants' record's gonna be? What do I look like, Miss Cleo? I don't got the answers. What do I look like, Miss Cleo? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Moose? What's going on, David? Knicks Fan TV is in the house. If you guys have not done so, go on over to Knicks Fan TV and subscribe to that channel. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, Rolly? What's going on, Joseph? Moose in the house. D. Myers, Afghanistan. Spike that like, guys. If you haven't done so, please subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell. Thank you guys for being here. We're going to be taking calls in a minute. What a press conference today. What a start to the new era. So, Joe Judge is the new head coach, and he came out today, guns a-blazing, thought he did a fantastic job. I am fully on board with the hire, and I am excited for the future of this New York Giants team. I'm still telling people, remain patient. Rome's not built in a day. Don't expect this to get fixed overnight. This could take a couple of years, but I like the guy we got in there. We got a young, exuberant coach. He's going to bring energy to this team. I liked a lot of the things that he had to say, and I'm sure we're going to talk about it with some of the callers. And I can't wait to get into you. I wasn't going to do this, but I was like, I got to do a call-in show. I got to talk to my subscribers, man. Oh, man, LA, man, thanks for love, man. $5 super chat. Ben's and Ease. He says, court's in session. I can see why they like this guy just from the way he interviewed. Didn't post my number yet, but I'll take a call. Didn't post my number yet. I'll post it now. 1 second. Let me post my number.
Bad.
That's all right, Sonor. Sonor wanted to get in. What's going on, Sonor?
How'd you know?
I know your number by now. You call in every call-in show.
All right. So first thing I want to get through, first order of business. I need you to message me those coordinates for the alien base again from the last video. If you could do that, I really appreciate it. I'm trying to get back to my family. Either way, I want to talk about Joe Judge. Pretty Gucci coach.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if I read the super chat. I just want to make sure I did. LA Girl, thanks so much for the love, man. He says, court's in session. I can see why they like this guy. Oh, I did already. I did, just from the way he interviewed. Yeah, I was very impressed with him today. But, yeah, let's talk about it. So, what do you think about what you've seen from Joe Judge, what you've heard about Joe Judge? What did you think about today's press conference?
So, the thing that I noticed from his track record, so he was at Mississippi State, graduate assistant, and then he played, I think, Birmingham Southern. He was a linebackers coach, and then he went to Alabama. He was special teams coach. And, in New England, he was special teams and wide receivers coach. But, what I get from it is that he's coached at least every single position on all clear the units. So he probably does have experience, managing each unit. And I think he has really good management skills if he's able to take care of special teams and wide receiver coach. So I don't get why people say he lacks experience, because he's coached every single unit. But the other thing that I noticed from Judge is that when he walked in the room, you get a sort of like an intimidating presence, like a dude, like a commanding voice, sort of like a dude who's getting ready to get a business and everything, and he just has confidence. He just walks in he has swagger. He's like a baller pretty much. So that's what I noticed from Joe Judge.
Yeah, one of the things I really liked about, I think he's going to be a CEO type. A lot of people have said that. He's had experience on both sides of the ball, but he's going to let the offensive coordinators call the plays. He's going to let the defensive coordinators be hands-on. He's going to kind of oversee everything, put his input in, and he's going to get guys that fit his vision, guys that are good teachers, guys that are going to get the most out of players. It sounded a lot like the Patriots to me, and I like hearing that. Obviously, a lot of people have tried to mimic the Patriots. We'll see if he could do it, but you gotta like what you hear from the guy, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited for the Joe Judge era. I know a lot of people were questionable about the hire when we made it due to his lack of experience, but I do think you bring up a good point. Being a special teams coach, a lot of people have pointed this out. He has experience on both sides of the ball. He also has experience in getting the most out of players, because I got this from the Pat McAfee video. When you're a special teams coordinator, it's your job to get the 47th, 48th, 49th best guy on the roster to get the most out of him. So I do like him as a head coach candidate. I think he's going to do a good job. I'm looking forward to it.
Exactly. Like how he said, get the best out of a player. I think that's what he's trying to do. And I don't know if you saw it, but on the YouTube channel for the Giants, he did an interview with this one dude. I don't know who he was.
Bob Papa.
He was explaining whoever that is. He was just talking about how he's trying to get the most out, like he's trying to get the most talent, the most ability out of each and every single player. He's gonna look at each and every single player, and he's just kind of like examining each player. I think that's really good. I think it's something that Pat Shurmur didn't do. He kind of like what I saw from Pat Shurmur is that he kind of just threw out a bunch of players and see if he can get the most out of them. Now with Joe Judge, he's examining every single position. And he looks like the type of dude who's like the next man up type of system, where like he doesn't care if you're Tom Brady, doesn't care if you're Odell Beckham or any other like player that has like a special name to it.
Right.
If you're not fit to play that role, he's gonna kick you out and you're gonna get replaced by somebody else. So that's something that kind of got off Joe Judge. And he's all about the culture. That's something that I think he's probably gonna try to implement too. So he's gonna try to implement like full pads practice, not being late to games or practices, and like having specific diets and stuff like that. I think that's definitely going to help out the Giants, because you can't have people like Janoris Jenkins or like Odell Beckham out here, posting on Twitter and stuff like that about fans. And that's something that Pat Shurmur was like really like weak, and like he couldn't be able to like fire him or something like that, or he wasn't able to like communicate to Dave Gettleman and kind of say like, we got to get rid of this dude, even though he's a playmaker. We got to get rid of him because he's a cancer. He's walking from cancer. So that's sort of like what I kind of got from Joe Judge in his press conference. But that's pretty much it.
No, that's what he is. He's a disciplinarian, and I think he's the type of guy that's going to get the most out of players. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings to the New York Giants. I've got like 10 people calling me, and I only got 2 hours today, so I'm gonna make the most out of it. We'll be live tonight with Bad Dog, so I'm gonna try to make these calls quick. But Sonor, thank you for the call. Yeah. Thank you for being a great subscriber, my man. All right, buddy. Have a good one. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Chris, stand up. Listen, I'm pumped. I got to tell you right now, I'm going to go two sides to this, and then I'll let you go. I saw Shurmur and I saw McAdoo come into the room in the press conference. I'm out of Albany, New York, by the way.
Yeah.
This was a couple of years back, and outside of Albany, Schenectady. And so immediately when I saw Joe Judge walk in, I kid you not, I'm not being a homer or anything. There's a presence. There's a commanding presence. He's not overbearing. He's business. You can tell he comes from that Belichick tree. And it was just so refreshing and inspiring to hear him, and the way he explained himself. I mean, he commands that respect, and I just had to make that known right away. I mean, I believe he's gonna do the right thing.
I'll tell you what, man. I'm with you on that, man. I was getting reminded of Belichick a lot of the things he said throughout that press conference, and hopefully it translates to the football field. But you got to be positive. That's all I've said this entire process, because.
Sure.
And I already see people being negative on Twitter. I went on Twitter. There's this one guy who posted this tweet about how that's like I don't remember what he said, but he said something negative about the press conference. And I'm like, how are you going to get on this guy? He hasn't even coached a game yet, and you're already jumping down the guy's throat. That's the reason we're in the situation we are, why we constantly flip coaches, because nobody gives anybody a chance. We got to give this guy a chance. We got to get behind him. We got to give him at least 3 years before we say that he can't coach.
I agree 100%. And just one other thing at a minimum, and I'll let you go. I know there are people trying to call in. I put blinders on my eye with Pat Shurmur this past year. I'm like, listen, you got to be positive. We got to think about the effect. Daniel Jones, the younger guys. On that sideline, and I know you've heard this before, there's nothing. Teams didn't fear us. He didn't have the presence. He wasn't a leader of men. I can guarantee you this one thing, Giants fans, whoever listening, this Joe Judge, who came out of nowhere as far as I knew, he has got that presence, and I am proud that they hired him, Marin Tisch, today. God bless you. Go Giants, 2020.
All right, my man. Thanks for the call, man. Thanks for being a great subscriber. Good call. Love it. 1 second. I just got to answer this super chat. Andrew Christopher says this on all my videos. Just says hi. Thank you so much for the $10 donation. Hi to you, Andrew Christopher. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in. Hello? I think they got stage fright, guys. I think that's Pat Shurmur on the line. I think that's Pat. Pat doesn't want to talk. All right, Pat, we'll talk later. That was Pat. Let's take the next one. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, what's going on, Chris?
What's going on? Who's this?
It's Roldy. What's going on,
What's going on, Roldy, man? What's going on, buddy? Great subscriber of mine. What's up, buddy?
Not much. Listen, I can't help but being pumped up. I mean, I know you said that he sounds more like Belichick, but it was almost like a baby Tom Coughlin. You know what I mean? That's what he sounded like.
That's a good call there, too. Especially the part I mentioned in my video when he said you got to come in dressed properly and all that. It sounded just like Tom Coughlin.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, damn, this is a 38-year-old, special teams coach coming in here. He had the confidence. He wasn't backing down. He was just telling us what we, us Giants fans always wanted from this team, and it was good to hear. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of fans are either negative or positive about it. None of us as Giants fans know who this guy is. You know what I'm saying? So whoever's going to say that he's going to be a good coach or a bad coach, they're lying. We don't know. But the one thing I can say right now, I think all Giants fans, I'm getting that feeling. I know you said you saw negative stuff on Twitter, but I feel like I got that vibe, the sense of vibe between all Giants fans is very optimistic right now. And I feel like we're all going to give this guy a chance. And I'm happy to see that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to tell you what, man. When I made my video, I didn't look at anybody's reaction videos. I never do that because I don't want to be influenced when I make a video. And I obviously got it up late because I was working. So I didn't know what the response was going to be. And when I made my video, I thought I was going to get crucified. And I was shocked at how much positivity came from the video because I knew Giants fans were going to be very against the move because the guy doesn't have a background, he doesn't have experience, and it's really a shot in the dark. I mean, in terms of experience, obviously they were impressed for a lot of the reasons that we saw today, and he's got a great background with Saban and Belichick, but the Giants took a shot here, and it's not the Giants' way. They don't normally do this, so I'm encouraged that the fans are at least for now, giving this guy a chance. We'll see if the Giants start 0-2 how the fan base reacts, but I'm encouraged that we're giving him a chance.
Though, but like you said, it's going to take time. It's going to take time. My thing is, and my guy was Rule, and I know every Giant fan wanted Rule, because I felt like with the way that this roster was constructed with the young players, I felt like McCarthy he probably would have been the right guy. Like Rule would have been the guy because he changed tempo, he changed the Baylor with the young kids and everything. He changed the program around. I felt like, you know what I mean, he would have been the best hire. But when listening to Mike Francesa yesterday, he said something important. Sometimes the number one choice is usually not the best choice, and who knows? We don't know what the future holds. But today, what this guy did at that podium, again, we're not going to win a press conference. We need to see wins on the field. But That being said, me seeing it and hearing this guy talk today, and I'm sitting on the couch and I'm like, all right, this is getting me pumped up. You know what I mean? I still hate Dave Gettleman. He needs to stop talking. But him,
you know what it is? You know what the problem is? And thank you so much. I got a new member. Thank you so much, Imp, for becoming a member of the channel. Thank you very much. But I think we got two guys. We got a Philly guy now, and we got a Boston guy. And I think New Yorkers, that's hard for them to get behind those guys. Yeah,
no, definitely. I just want to see, improvement in this team. You know what I'm saying? I just want to, everything that he said in this press conference, I want to see it on the field. You know what I mean? It's going to take some time, but I want those guys to just come in here and ball out. And the most important thing is we need to know who he's going to surround himself with, because that is key. That is essential, especially for a first-time head coach. That is key. Thank you, Chris. I'm glad that you did this live stream show. You're my man. I appreciate you, and I'm definitely going to be listening tonight.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to being on Bad Dogs tonight, man. And, thank you for being such a great supporter of my channel. Thank you for the call. Mike Morena, man. Let me just get the super chat real quick. Mike Morena, thank you so much, man, for the $5 super chat. Ben's Denise says, just watch that press conference. Wow, is all I have to say. I think most Giant fans are with you, Mike. I think we're all in all, man, and I was so impressed with his performance today. He did a great job for a guy that's 38, never been a head coach. Did a great job, Mike. Thanks for the love. What's going on? You're on live. Thanks for calling in.
My man, entertainer, bro. What's going on? It's Kush / the Hub calling in right now.
What is going on, man? Thanks for the call, buddy. What's up, buddy?
Bro, what can I say except you hear in my voice? You hear how excited I am? Oh my God! Listen. Let me start a little bit from the beginning. I started falling off the Matt Rule train after a Twitter video was circulating of him giving like a pep talk.
Right. Yeah, I know the video you're talking about.
You know the video, right?
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, that didn't connect with me. I was like, this is not going to get pro players to stand up. Maybe it's going to get, high schools to stand up, but this isn't going to get some dude that's making like $20+ million a year to stand up. And then this is a press conference. I listened to Joe Judge talking. All rise, first of all. he has that energy about him that makes you think everybody will rise. He got that swagger.
He's got that confidence. He's got that confidence.
Exactly.
And one of my favorite things he said in that interview, I don't remember the exact question, but somebody asked him, what type of team are you going to be? And this is what really said Patriots to me, like the Patriot way. They said, are you going to be a running team? Are you going to be a passing team? He said, I don't know. 1 week, we may be versing a team where we're going to run 50 times. And then the next week, we may play a team we're going to play 10 times, run 10 times. And that's exactly what Bill Belichick does. You don't know what they're going to do week in, week out basis. They're impossible to game plan for. And when I heard that, I'm like, I really like hearing that. That was one thing that really resonated with me.
Bro, I hear you, and I love that too. Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, this is a solution to a problem we never knew we had. For the past 2-3 years, we've all been trying to get these offensive gurus to solve our offense because we have so many weapons and so many great pieces, but they're not meshing together. This is the solution we never thought we were going to find because it's very simple. 1 week it's going to be Evan Ingram if he stays on the team. The next week, Saquon's going to run wild, and the next week is going to be DJ. They don't all necessarily have to be meshing in the same game. And maybe one game that is going to be it. But you don't need an offensive guru to see that, and I love that about that. And the guy is so straightforward, and you're right, Belichick straight up. The way he thinks football, at least from this conference, screamed a young Belichick to me. But the way he talks and his verbiage, another caller said it screams a young Tom Coughlin.
Hey, Tom Coughlin's a great one. Great one.
It's like the two coaches mixed together.
Yeah, and hopefully, he gives the results of the two coaches mixed together. Well, we're going to have to wait and see, but I just keep stressing, everybody in this chat room, every Giant fan, don't jump on this guy after even one season. You got to give this guy a couple of years. You got to let him get his staff together. We'll see what he does with the defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, but I think this is an exciting hire, and I think after today, I hope that most Giant fans are behind this guy, and I think they are.
I completely hear you. That was going to be my next point I was going to bring up. We can't just give him 1 year or 2 years. I feel like we need to give him 3 years.
Yeah.
I was a big Shurmur hater. I wanted Shurmur gone by week 2 of this year. Anybody that knows me know that. But even I can admit that this was a doom year for him. And because of that, I have to give this guy 3 years. That's my minimum.
3 years
1
minimum.
Year to get
I'm with you.
Staff together. You know what I'm saying? 2 years to get his players right, and that 3rd year to make sure everything comes together. For me, it's 3 years for him before we can start really jumping on him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We can go out there, we could lay another egg for this season, but guess what? It's just one season, guys. We got to stay patient.
Yeah, and that's not going to happen, but that's what I'm going to continue to stress on my channel. you know how New York.
Yeah.
You know how New York is, man. But I just hope that he comes out guns a-blazing and he gets this team back to where it needs to be, and which is a consistent, competitive football team. That's where we want to get back to. It's been a long time.
Yeah, man, I love it. Man, I'm going to let you get to the next call. Thanks for having me. But I have a feeling that we found the coach we've been looking for a long time. I just have that feeling.
I love the optimism, man. Thank you for the call, man. Thank you for being a great subscriber. All right, have a good one. 1 second, just want to read the super chat from one of my best, Stephen Lilly from across the pond, $5 super chat. He says, build a bonfire, put the Eagles on the top stick, the Cowboys in the middle, and burn the fucking lot. Let's go, Giants. Let's go, Judge. Stephen Lilly, man, one of my best, man. Thanks for being such a great supporter of the channel from across the pond. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Is this Chris the Entertainer?
This is Chris the Entertainer. Who's this?
This is L.H. Rolla, a.k.a. Lethal Lou.
Yes, you're the man, dude. What's going on, buddy?
What you think of what Colin Cowherd said about the judge?
I didn't get a chance to see it. I know a lot of there was a couple people that were negative about him. I know that.
Yeah, he had a lot of the same talking points that you and Fist had.
What did he say? So he was positive. He was positive.
Yeah. If you saw this video, he said he's going to be basically like a CEO type coach, kind of like Coughlin and the guy in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Tomlin.
Tomlin.
Yeah. And that was another point I meant to make in my video. That's exactly what he said. He said, They asked him about in terms of the play calling and everything else. He said, I'm going to have a little bit of say in the offense, the defense, the special teams, but I'm going to let the guys that are in those positions do their job. So he's going to be like.
That's what excites me about this so much is he gets personnel say.
Right.
On top of the way he carried himself in the interview, and this is kind of like Daniel Jones all over again. Because I know me personally, I don't want to say I was furious. I was more in the sense of who the hell is this guy when we drafted him, and now here we are. He's the future of our franchise, and I can't wait to see what our future holds with him. And that's how I felt watching the interviews, whether it was the short one or the full press conference. Woo.
Yeah, no, he did a great job. The 7-minute press conference you're talking about with Bob Papa, that was great as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm encouraged, man, and I'm with you, man. Anybody that's seen my channel knows how I reacted on draft night, and I was in shock that they took Daniel Jones. And I learned after that. I'm like, all right, I gotta be more. I'm kind of going against what I preach, and I said I gotta be more patient when things happen. I gotta let them develop, and that's what I'm trying to do here. And today, I never hated this guy when I did the research on him. Obviously, before I did any research, I was like, who the hell is this guy? But when I did research, he wouldn't have been my first choice. I'll be the first to say it because of lack of experience. But I even said in my video when I did a preview, I said, this guy is going to be a good head coach one day. I just don't know if it's his time yet. But I'm glad that we got him. I think he's going to be good.
Watching your video.
Yeah.
That's essentially the vibe I get watching your video. This guy might be a good future head coach, but I'm not sure if he has the qualifications at the moment to take a job like that compared to somebody like a McCarthy or even the guy Martindale who's been in the league for a long time, and even Matt Rule, who, granted, it's the college level, but he's a head coach.
Right, and I get it. I get why people were skeptical about the move. It makes complete sense, and that's why I tried to make a video yesterday, which was Rudy T told me to do, one of my best subscribers, and I tried to point out other circumstances where there were coaches that came in with similar credentials and did a good job, and there's plenty of them. So hopefully he's one of those guys.
Oh, for sure.
That's all we can hope for.
Tell from his mindset, he's a disciplinarian.
Yeah, I think he's the goods, man. I think he's the goods. I just hope that the players buy in, and they continue to draft well.
My only concern is if he wants a different quarterback other than Daniel Jones. If he wants to have his own guy in here.
Yeah, well, I think he's going to be good with that. My personal opinion, and I know he said, nobody's guaranteed a spot. If you play well, you're going to earn it. I don't think they would have given him the job had he not said, I think Daniel Jones is going to be the quarterback. I really don't, but I could be wrong. But I honestly don't think so.
Yeah.
But I got to let you go. I just want to say thank you for all the love you always show my channel and everything else. There's just a lot of people calling. I'm trying to get as many people as I can. And
for sure.
I'll see you. I'll be on Bad Dog's channel tonight, and then I'll be with Fist tomorrow. I'm going to be on his channel tomorrow, so I'll see you then.
For sure. Great talk.
All right, my man. Thanks for the call. And let me get this. 1 second. I'm just going to take this call, this super chat from Freddie Billis, man. Thanks for the love, buddy. $5 super chat. He says, they tried to kill Joe Judge on the Michael Kay show, but we can't let the New York media brainwash us without giving him a chance. Exactly. They've been trying to kill him this whole time before this press conference. Everybody's been trying to kill him. You got to give him a shot before you jump down his throat. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
What's going on, Chris? Entertainer.
What is this Alex Sports?
You got it, Alex Sports.
What's up, buddy?
What's up?
So what did you think of today's events? What do you think about Joe Judge?
Wow, I was just blown away by this interview. I mean, I can't blame the Giants for going out and just getting him. I mean, they were blown away by it. I was too. I mean, that was the best interview I've ever seen. That was his responses were just really good to me. He seems like he's definitely coaching material in my eyes.
Yeah.
Yes,
He's a leader, man. He's a leader,
I'm very impressed with this guy. I mean, he looks like he's gonna turn us around.
And he's very. Another thing I wanted to say that I noticed was he's very quick-witted. Like they gave him off the wall questions. Like if I'm going into something like that, I wouldn't have been prepared for a question. He got a question probably about 20 minutes in. Somebody asked him, can you give us an example of what you did in a kindergarten classroom that could help translate to the NFL? And he had the answer in a second. I would have been like, what the hell are you asking me that for? So he's very smart, this guy. Very quick-witted, very on his feet. He had the answer to everything right away. I was very impressed with him.
I love it, man. I love it. See, and there's people that did not like it as soon as it happened. I mean, you got to give it time. This is what happens if you don't give it time, and then you look stupid because now he looks unbelievable in this interview, and I gave him a chance, and he looks like really good in this interview, and I already fell in love with this guy.
Yeah, I listen. I don't want to tell lies to people. I don't want to come on here and tell you that this guy's going to be a great coach because I don't know.
Yeah.
But let's put it this way. I'm definitely willing to give this guy a chance, and I'm definitely encouraged by what I saw today, and I definitely see why the New York Giants hired him based off of his resume and based off of what I saw today. That is what I will say for sure.
Absolutely. It's very encouraging. He gets me excited for the future of this team. It seems like he'll turn us around and help us go in the right direction. This is a huge offseason for us. We have to make some good decisions, right moves, because I think this is a great hire. I think so. I think we got a steal, honestly.
I love the positivity, man. I really do love the positivity. And I seen somebody ask me a question about Montana asked me, are you concerned Judge might be too much of a disciplinarian? Can we scare players away? To me, personally, I guess it's possible. But at the end of the day, look at the New England, and I'm not saying we're going to be the Patriots, but the Patriots never have the most talent. And he didn't really give off the vibe to me that he's going to be overly, like a crazy disciplinarian. He's just going to be a guy that expects the most in his players. He also said in the same press conference, we're also going to realize that these guys are human beings. They're not robots. So he kind of was like, we're gonna deal with, look at them as human beings, but at the same time, we're gonna expect them to show up to work and do their job. So I don't think he seemed like he was he's gonna be an over disciplinarian. I think he's gonna be a guy that expects hard work because he's gonna put in hard work, but he's gonna understand that, you go with the ebbs and flows of a human being. So I don't think he's gonna scare free agents away. I really don't.
Yeah. Okay. Well, one more thing before I go. I just want to say, I know it's early, and we're all getting very excited. Well, this guy seems like the best head coach we've had since Tom Coughlin, honestly, that I've seen.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I can't wait to see. I know this whole offseason is going to be so much fun for me to cover. I can't wait. I'm so excited because there's going to be tons of stories for me to cover with the new head coach and the free agency and the draft, and I'm going to cover. I'm going to cover it all the way up till September.
I got a question. You're going to Vegas for the draft, right?
That's not confirmed yet, but I'm very good chance I will be. Very good chance.
If you do, are you gonna cover that?
Oh, of course, of course. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Awesome, nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
But Alex, man, I just want to say thank you for being such a loyal supporter and a great member of the Giants community. Thank you for the call, my man.
Oh, it's my pleasure, dude. You're the man.
You got it, man.
Amazing work. See you, man.
I appreciate it, Alex. And let me get the next caller. And I just want to answer West Coast question. I am streaming all 4 games this weekend. Last weekend I couldn't on Sunday, but I'm doing all 4 this weekend. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
What's up, Chris?
What's going on? Who's this? I think I know who it is, but is this Sam?
Yeah.
I'm good. I remember voices. What's up, Sam?
One thing I just wanted to say. I think this guy. It showed how much more professional he is than Matt Rule. Matt Rule went to the Giants, said, I have this team's giving me this much money, match it. This guy, he seems very smart, and the way he probably negotiated them in with not talking about his contract, what he wants, but he talked about what he can provide for them, not just what I can get from it.
Right. Now, I'll tell you what, man, Matt Rule, I still think he's going to be a great head coach. I was a big fan of Matt Rule. I liked a lot of things I read about him, a lot of things I heard about him. I remember talking to Jet Central, actually. I remember talking to him last year. He's a Jets fan. They were looking for a head coach. He was very high on him. And I remember reading a lot of things that I liked about the guy. Obviously, I love the fact that he was a New Yorker. I love the fact that I read things that New York was his dream job. But I'm going to tell you what Matt Rule did. Matt Rule saw the Giants were in a position of desperation, or at least that he thought was desperation, and he tried to hold them over a barrel. He said they're not in a spot to attract good coaches. I'm a big name. Fans are excited about me. I'm going to try to get every last penny I can out of this team. And they said, you know what? We interviewed Joe Judge. We like Joe Judge. Hit the road. That's what happened.
I like it. He didn't. We stood our ground, and we got the guy that apparently they liked more.
Listen, man, I'm completely fine with the hire. I like Judge, and I just want to say thank you to Anthony for the $2 super chat. You can't forget about it. He says, for Judge, the jury is still out. Of course it's still out. He hasn't coached the game yet. But thank you for the love, man. I really do appreciate it, man, and we'll see how it goes, man. But it's a good start. Let's put it that way.
There's another thing. There's 2 things. There was a thing that broke out that if McDaniels left, he was apparently going to get the promotion to OC for the Patriots. Did you hear anything about that?
I did not, but I'm not. Yeah, well, no, you're saying if McDaniels left, he would have became the OC. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
McDaniels left.
I did hear about that.
And last thing, I know you're probably busy right now. There was a thing, a Giants fan page. He made a jersey swap of Yannick Ngakoue in a Giants jersey, right? And they posted it on Twitter. And he was in number 91, and then Justin Tuck commented, they were like, is it okay if he were to be 91? And Justin Tuck said, yeah, he's cool with that. And then under there, Yannick Ngakoue replied with respect. He kind of put like an emoji. Do you think that's maybe showing that he wants to come to New York, or you think you're taking it like maybe he just saw Justin Tuck mentioned him?
I saw that tweet, and thank you, Main Focus Man, for the $3 super stick. I really appreciate that with the thumbs up. I saw that tweet by I don't, was it Ngakoue that made that tweet, or was it Tuck? I don't know, but I saw the tweet. And I heard
Ngakoue replied.
Oh, Ngakoue replied. That's what it was. Yeah. And he said something else, too, a couple of weeks ago. I don't remember what it was. But he's starting to hint that New York may be a destination for him. We'll have to wait and see. That's all I can say about that. You know, there's no way I could know that. My chat froze, so I'm going to have to pull it up here. That happens sometimes. But, you know, we won't know until the offseason. But that's certainly a guy that I think a lot of Giants fans are really excited about if he hits the open market. And we'll see. I'm not going to read too much into Instagram posts, though. You know, it's social media. But...
Yeah, he's not a Chase Young, but it's a good step because we're basically out of the Chase Young race, and from what I've heard today, he kind of has the same envision like Gettleman, where he wants to run the football, and we already got the defensive line to stop the run. I think he's going to go for Andrew Thomas. I think that with this press conference today, he kind of showed that he wants to run the ball more and efficiently.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. It's all about the fundamentals with Gettleman too. Gettleman's going to be a guy that wants an offensive. You know, he loves the offensive line, whether it's in free agency or the draft. I expect them to attack that heavily. They have really 3 holes, but we'll see if they get Solder back on track. But they got 2 holes for sure. They got to fill, whether it's free agency or the draft. So we'll see what they do, man. But I got to take a couple more callers because there's a lot of people calling in. I want to get as many as I can. But Sam, thanks for the call, man, and I hope you enjoyed the press conference today, buddy.
All right, have a nice day.
You got it, my man. And what's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in. Love your show. I appreciate that, Montana, New York. Thank you very much. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, Chris, it's L.A. Lou.
L.A. Lou! I love L.A. Lou, man. What's going on? I know we usually talk a long time. I only got 2 hours today, so let's get it, 5-6 minutes I'm trying to hold it to. What's up, Lou?
Oh, hey, well, listen, I work at night, so I sleep during the day. I just woke up a little while ago. Down to have a pastrami sandwich. Saw you were having a call-in show.
I appreciate.
And I knew you were going to talk about your new coach, So I went and I looked at his press conference really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something. It was kind of eerie, in a good way, right? Because first of all, you look at it. Just by when he started talking, right? The first thing I thought about was Sean McVay's press conference. Okay, all the things that impressed you about it. First of all, they were both matter of fact. They knew where they were wanting to go with what they were saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had their hands out on the podium, and they were behind the podium, not sitting behind a table or a desk or whatever. They were at a podium. He had his hands out wide, and he was using his hands to accentuate points that he was talking about. And a lot of you see a lot of coaches when they're doing press conferences, they have their hands, in front of them. They're talking slowly, thinking about what they're going to say. This guy knew exactly what he wanted to say. He knew exactly what he wanted. All right. Something tells me that you guys might have a shot here. Okay. We got to see how he fills out his staff, but I don't know. There's something about this guy that I like. It's not like any other hire.
I like him a lot, man. And I get the comparison to McVay. They're both young hotshot coaches that didn't have the best resume to come in, but I really like this guy. And you've been very positive about the Giants, even though you're a Rams fan this whole season. You had us going 10-6. Obviously that didn't happen, but hopefully this is the guy that gets the team back on track. And I like a lot of things that I heard, whether it's getting back to old school football. We're going to play smash mouth football for 60 minutes. The fact that he's going to let the offensive and defensive and special teams coordinators do their job. He's going to be hands-on. Seems incredibly intelligent. Seems like he spoke very matter of factly too, which was refreshing. It wasn't like he was a robot up there. And he's just a natural. He just seemed like he was a natural.
Yeah. Like I said, he looked like he knew what he wanted to say. He knew where he was going. He knows exactly what he wants to do, right? And you know what? I think well, first of all, that 10-6 prediction. Okay, that wasn't because of your talent. That was because of your coaching. All right.
The coaching definitely had something to do with it. The coaching definitely had something to do with it.
Right. Well, think about this. The Sean McVay took over a team that was 4-12 the year before, and was basically the same roster. He turned that team into an 11-5 team. It can happen, right? You guys signed a couple free agents. You know, you make a trade or two. You have a good draft, and you're back in business. I mean, you already got your quarterback and your running back, right? You got some decent receivers. What you really need is that one speed receiver. But hey, I think it's looking good. I mean, and when you look at the rest of your division, I mean, the Cowboys, they fired their coach. They got a brand new coach, so they're in a way they're starting over. They got good talent, but they're starting over. The Redskins, okay, they have some good talent. They're starting over. This is wide open, you know. I mean, I think you guys are in a better situation than my Rams right now, because right now, even though we've got talent, we've got some decent coaches. We're in some going through some changes. We're going to have a new defensive coordinator. If you don't hit on that, you know, it could be a long year.
Yeah.
So we've got some question marks. But you've got the right kind of question marks, because you got building blocks.
We do.
Right?
We built through the draft very well the last 2 years, and the one thing I'll say about your Rams, if I'm a Rams fan, what I'm worried about, you guys built through free agency like the last 3 years, and then you traded your draft picks away to get Jalen Ramsey. So you guys are kind of in a win now mode. You might have one more year left in that window before I think you need to really retool again. So I think you're right. I think the gap for the Rams is closing, because you got to start drafting and getting younger again over there.
Yeah, and what we have to do is we have to build through our later rounds.
Yeah.
We use our early rounds to bring in talent that we need, and then we have to hit on our later rounds, which we do. We're pretty good. Rounds 3 through 5, we've been stacking our team. We got basically our receivers, you know, Reynolds and Cooper Kupp. We got in the 3rd round. You know, we got Ebukam in the 4th round. So we do well with our later round draft picks, but we got to keep that up. We can't have a down year in the draft, or else we're going to be in a rebuilding mode. You know.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But you guys are young. You guys are young. You got a young coach coming in. You don't really have any old vets. You got rid of those. You got rid of.
We got rid of all of them.
You know,
we're gonna get rid of Ogletree this offseason probably. We got rid of Janoris Jenkins. The defense has to get a lot better. That's the biggest key to this offseason. But Lou, I gotta let you go because I got a lot of people calling in. But I just want to say thank you for being one of my best, man. Thank you for being such a great and loyal subscriber.
Hey, no problem, buddy. Next time you have a call in, but you can believe I'll call in.
You got it, man. Thanks for everything you do for my channel, buddy. Have a good one, my man. Enjoy the sandwich.
You do.
Next call, you're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, how you doing?
Well, you knew Bobby was going to pop out of the woodwork because there's a call-in show. That's the only time I see Bobby anymore. Everybody in the chat, what's going on, Raimondo? Thanks for the love, man. $2 super chat. You can forget it.
Hey, that's wrong.
I'm just Bobby, I'm just kidding with you. Raimondo says
you're going to come to my station too sometime too. Whenever you come to my station.
1 second, I just want to read the super chat. Raimondo says starting to really like Joe. I hope it's not just words. Yeah, well, we got to see results. We all got to see results before we fully buy in. But it's a good start, Raimondo. Thanks for the love. So, Bob, everybody said hello to you, Bobby. What's going on, Bobby? How you been?
Yep. Good, great. I'm not too happy with the coach, but I wanted the other guy from the Patriots, McDaniels.
Oh, you wanted McDaniels? You wanted McDaniels?
Yes.
Okay.
Then I do not want Kitchen as our offensive coach. No way in the world. I heard that's going to happen.
Well, no, we don't know that. They're talking to him. It doesn't.
Well, he wants him.
Whoa. That's not the report. The report that came out was they want to potentially interview him for being on the staff. In nowhere in that report did it say offensive coordinator. It could be wide receiver coach. It could be tight end coach. Could be quarterback coach.
Put him cleaning the bathrooms. That's where he deserves to be. Cleaning the bathrooms.
All right, who do you want?
Gilbride.
You want Gilbride?
I want Kevin.
Gilbride's a head coach in the XFL right now.
Oh, he is?
Well, I mean, I'm sure he'd take the offensive coordinator job, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, but he was good with our team in the playoffs, remember?
Of course he was. He was the guy, he was our offensive coordinator when we won the Super Bowl.
But do you remember that embarrassing thing that happened to him, though?
What were you talking about?
When they played the Jets, the Houston Oilers played the Jets.
Oh, you're going way back.
Buddy Ryan did to him.
Oh, you're going way back.
Yeah, Buddy Ryan smacked him in the face. Yeah, that was sad.
How's Seahawks,
Bobby? I talked to Gabe this morning. We were talking about that today, this morning, in Gabe's channel this morning. I call in all the time in the morning after. You ever hear that show?
Yeah. You tell me every time you call in the morning after.
You got to call in that show. So you're staying in New York, huh? Good. Stay there. Do not go to Texas.
Right now, right now I am. Yes, I am right now, Bobby.
And you still with your mom?
No, well.
Your mom.
You're
not with your mom anymore?
Bobby, let's keep this to Giants. Let's keep this to Giants.
How's your dog doing? I like your dog.
My dog, I got a couple dogs still. But what?
I like your dogs.
I like my dog.
I haven't asked you how Mr. Softy is yet. No.
Well, there's not Bobby. There's no Mr. Softy in January. There's no Mr. Softy in January.
70 more 3 days till spring. 70 more 3 days for spring.
So I know. All right. Okay. And
hey, Cushmaster, won't you shut up? Okay, Cushmaster.
Anything left? Any Giants talk? Or we're gonna talk about?
Do you see what Cushman running to me?
Are we gonna talk? Are we gonna
hang up, Cushman?
Are we gonna talk? You want to talk ice cream? Are we gonna talk ice cream trucks today?
No, I'm only kidding.
I know.
I miss talking to you, though.
I know. I know, Bob. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for being a great subscriber. Thank you for always bringing some comedic relief.
Like the guy. He might be all right for us, but I want a better offense coach and defense coach too. So.
Yeah, I get you, man. I get you, Bobby.
Now, a defense better wake up and smell the coffee. We need better defensive people.
I agree. Our defense was abysmal last year. What's your solution, Bobby? What would you do?
Well, we got to work on that secondary, of course. The secondary stinks.
Right.
We got to, because we got a few rush passes. We don't have to worry about too much of them. We have to work about the secondary and the middle linebacker too. So
you're basically saying we need 11 new players.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Well, Bobby, I'm gonna let you go.
We got the guy from Notre Dame. I tell you, I like the guy from Notre Dame.
Oh, Julie. Yeah, Love. You like Love?
Yeah, he's great. I like him.
Well, Bobby, I appreciate the call. Thank you for being.
Yeah, I know you got to get going. Why are you rushing? You have to go to work in 2 hours or something.
Yeah. I got to eat dinner. Then I'm going on with Bad Dog tonight. Maybe I'll go.
Well, you can skip Bad Dog for tonight.
I'm not gonna skip Bad Dog for tonight. It's talking.
I'm always kidding. I like Bad Dog in you. I'll watch you. I'll come on tonight. Watch you talk. Okay, I'll be in the.
All right, Bobby. Good talking to you, Bobby. Good talking to you, Bobby. Enjoy the ice cream cone. Enjoy the ice cream cone.
Okay, bye, guys.
All right. Wow. All right, what's going on? You're on live. You got to follow up Bobby. You ready for this? You got to follow up Bobby.
Yeah. Okay, so my point is I'm worried about how each time we get a new coach, right? Every couple of years so far for a while. The same thing happens. He has a press conference and everyone believes it's the next best thing, and then a couple of years will be the new Patriots or so. It happens with the Knicks. It happens with every team.
Okay.
I just don't believe that the roster we have, that the team can be like that. I think we need a whole new defense. We have good young players, but as of now, I just can't see this team competing.
Yeah, I'm just going to read the super chat. I'm going to respond to that. John, thank you so much for the love, man. $5 super chat. He says, I know there is a question out there of who am I. I'm not going to tell you who am I, but I'm going to tell you what I'm about because I became an instant fan. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, man. Thanks for the love, man. But as far as... Oh, that's the quote you're talking about, actually. Oh yeah. That's what he said in the press conference. That's right. That was a great quote by him. Okay, so in reference to the Knicks and the Giants, I agree with you. That's why I'm saying be patient. For anybody that thinks that this guy's going to come in the first year and this team's automatically going to compete for a championship, get that out of your head. That you're setting yourself up for failure. You're not giving this guy a fair chance. This is a team that's won 9 games in their last 2 years. They're a team that's one of the worst defenses in football this year. They have a lot of inexperience. It's a second-year quarterback who's going to have to learn a whole new playbook. Anybody who thinks this team is going to flip it in 1 year, you're already setting the coach up for failure. That's why all I do is...
I agree.
All I do is, in all my videos, is say, if we get that, great. That's a bonus. But don't expect that. Expect it to gradually get better. It's not going to happen overnight. That's the problem that we have with New York. That's why we constantly have to flip everything. So I agree, but I do think that this guy could get us there if we give him a chance.
Yeah, as you said, this is New York. Everyone's on a tight leash. And I think with ample time, you can't just cut the guy after 2 years. You have to give him time to let the guys develop. Gettleman will do his thing, hopefully drafting some good players this year and getting some good guys in free agency. And you need to let everyone develop because this team is not a playoff contender right now. And that's what people have to realize because otherwise, if he's pressured too much, it's going to go bad, just like the last couple coaches.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I tried to even express that with Pat, even though I knew he wasn't a good head coach. We have to give these guys a real fair chance. And it's the same thing with the Knicks. Now, I'll be the first to say Fizdale was not a good head coach, just like Pat was not a good head coach. But you got to give these guys a shot. And if you don't, it's just going to be a repeating cycle. And then it's going to get to a point where you're a team that nobody wants to go to because no good head coach is going to want to go to a team that constantly is flipping coaches. It's just the way it works. And somebody in the chat said it's not the coach. I agree. That's why I didn't put the blame on Pat Shurmur. I put more of the blame on Mara. Mara's the major problem here. He's been the major problem here.
It's just like Dolan. Everything
I agree with that. So
from the top.
Hopefully, it seems like they're gonna let the coach have a lot of personnel say from everything you've read. Yep. Looks like they're bringing in a lot of his guys. Let's hope it works out. That's all I can say. And we got to give him a fair chance. That's all I keep saying, everybody. Give this guy a real chance before you jump down his throat. And I just want to say thank you to JJ for the $10 super chat. He says you deserve 10 for how well you respectful you handled Bobby. I'm used to Bobby. Bobby always comes with the ice cream cone talk. But I appreciate the love, JJ, man. Great subscriber of mine. But anything else, my man?
No, thanks for your time.
You got it, buddy, man. Thanks for the call.
All right, bye.
All right, my man. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, entertainer, what's going on, man? It's Chris Lavelle.
Chris Lavelle, great subscriber of mine. UG Life fan. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how are you going? How's it going, man? How's everything?
That's good, man. Just exciting day, right? New coach, and hopefully everybody's on board. Hopefully he does a good job once the season comes around, and it's always exciting times when there's a change. That's for sure. But hopefully it works out.
Yeah, I'm pumped about this guy. And I don't know if you remember or not, but I'm from Massachusetts.
Yes, I do.
And and my whole family are Patriots fans, and everybody around me is Patriots fans, and I've been a Giants fan for 34 years, since I was 4 years old, and I have to listen to Patriots fans, rag on me about the 2 Super Bowls and all that shit. So, word around the campfire in Massachusetts is we got ourselves a hell of a coach, because I hear what everybody's saying around here. So I loved his press conference. I love the way he carried himself. I love the idea of smash mouth football, getting back to playing full 60 minutes. He said all the right things. Now let's see if he can carry them all out.
I'm with you, man. That's it, man. It's everybody said in my chat, and LA Lou, man, I'm gonna read that 1 second. Thanks for all your love, man. Everybody said that actually when I made my video was talk is cheap, you got to back it up, and they're right. You know, you can't judge a guy. But I like a lot of things I read. I like his history. I like that he learned from two of the best minds ever, Saban and Belichick. He's incredibly intelligent. Nobody could deny that. The guy is incredibly intelligent. He's very well-spoken, and I like where his head's at. I also like that when I actually gave the guy a chance, and I did my research, and I zoned everything else out, I look at the guy. I like that he has a special teams background. It's a great point that several people have brought up.
because you're involved with all sides of the ball. And I mean, this guy's talking to everybody on the team. He knows everybody on the team.
You're involved with offense and defense, and you're also dealing with the players. It's easy to be an OC when you got all these superstars on offense. He's dealing with the players that are scrapping, that are trying to remain employed, and he's getting the most out of them. So that's a tough job, and he did a good job doing it. So that's impressive. I do like that he has that background.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt about it. Me and my old man were talking about it on the phone together. Yeah, he just he seems like he has all the intangibles, and he knows how. Who better to learn from than Belichick and Saban? You know what I mean? The guy's got 3 Super Bowls with Belichick. He's got 2 with Saban, national titles. I mean, this guy's been getting coached up for a long time, and I think he's flown under the radar, and for good reason. I think the Patriots have probably kept his name as low-key as possible, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, everything you've read, and I just want to read this because it says late. I want to make sure he hears it. I don't know if he left already. L.A. Lou, man, thanks for the love, man. $10 super chat. He says, it was good talking to you. I might see you tonight with Bad Dog. Feel lucky you didn't get McDaniels. You make him a head coach and becomes more of a a-hole than he already is. Later, I was not a fan of McDaniels. I didn't like the fact I didn't like the fact that he skipped out on the Colts job. I didn't want him. I know a lot of people liked him because of his offensive mind with the quarterback, but I'm with you, L.A. Lou. I didn't want him. I never wanted him.
Yeah, everything just seems great. I like the hire. I know you got to get to other people, Entertainer, but yeah, I love the hire so far. The guy's saying all the right things, and with hopefully we get a couple solid free agent signings, and we hit another draft out of the park. And we got a good start to the 2020 year, hopefully.
Well, that's the encouraging thing, right? We've drafted well, especially last year. The year before is kind of questionable at this point. Some of the guys, but last year was, I think, a very encouraging draft. This year we got 9-10 picks. We got a lot of free agent money. It's going to be a very exciting offseason. I'm really looking forward to covering it because I do think this team could get the pieces necessary to at least be competitive, to at least get to December where we're playing meaningful games. So that's what I'm looking forward to next year, and it's baby steps. It's incremental. I think Giants fans would be satisfied if this team wins 6-7 games next year, but they stay competitive, and you see progression. And that's going to be my expectations going into next year. I'm not expecting a Super Bowl, but we want to see them start to get better as the talent gets older. You bring in a couple of veterans, and it's going to take a couple of years, but I do think we're going to get headed in the right direction. I'm going to remain optimistic.
Right, and like you said earlier on your last call, we got to give this guy time. We can't just, we can't throw him out of here in a year or two or anything like that. This guy needs time to, to implement, his way of football, and we gotta all get on board and just back him up. And he reminded me of a young Parcells. He really did, and the way he was, the way he carries himself. And I'm on board. I'm with him, and I hope we can start moving forward in a strong way from here on out. And I'll let you go though, Tanner.
Chris, I appreciate the call, man. Thank you for being such a loyal supporter of my channel.
Yeah, no problem, man. Anytime. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, buddy. All right. Next call. You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's going on? Who's this?
This is Yves, man. Yves Levesque.
What's going on, buddy? Thanks for calling in.
Hey, no problem, man. I just wanted to put out there, just listening to him. I mean, I'm listening to this guy, and it seems like the way that they're trying to move forward, you can hear it in his message about punch you in the mouth, toughness, smartness, it all points to me, if you really think about it, the draft, it all points to Simmons, the linebacker. I think that they're going to draft this kid, Simmons, and I know we need a left tackle, but you have free agency in Conklin, and something tells me that's going to end up being our draft pick. It's going to be Simmons. You bring in Conklin as a free agent, you sign him, and you move shoulder to the right tackle, and if he still doesn't pan out, you heard what the coach said. If they don't want to do what they're supposed to, they don't play hard, then we don't need them. And so I think this coach is a real deal, and I think that's going to be our draft pick.
You're the new member on my channel, right? I just want to thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. As far as Simmons goes, I know Simmons is a very popular player with a lot of Giants fans. And I'm going to do a video on him soon, probably after the coaching search is done. And I like Simmons. Very versatile. I think he fits even better in the 3-4 if we stay in it. I think he could play in both systems. Could play the safety. Could play the linebacker. Really versatile player. A player that a lot of Giants fans would like on the football team. And we'll see. I think free agency, like you said, is going to tell us probably what we're going to do in the draft. If they don't sign a lineman, we're probably drafting a lineman because we have 2 holes there on the offensive line. But if we fill some of our holes in free agency on the line, yeah, good chance we draft Simmons. Good chance we draft Simmons.
Yeah, because just like you just brought out, he brought out too. He said we need people that's that you could pretty much play at any position, that you can move around. And what better player? I mean, offensive tackles, it's but so much they can do as far as you can only move them, but so far. The right tackle, left tackle, center, as long as they're playing somewhere along the line. But somebody like Simmons, like you brought out, safety. He can play the corner. He has the speed to make up ground, play the run. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think.
He's a dangerous weapon. And the other thing I'll mention that Simmons fits to a T that he brought up in the press conference, he talked a lot about wanting players that are versatile. And there's an example. There's a player that could do a lot of different things on a football field. So maybe he is a guy that they'll be looking at. It's a good point you bring up.
There you go. Yeah, all right, man. I just want to put that out there. And I got to take up too much of your time. I'll be looking forward to Bad Dog. Bad Dog, my boy too, man. I like Bad Dog, man.
Yeah, it's good. Always fun to talk with Bad Dog.
Yeah, most definitely, man. But I just had to give respect where it was due, man. As I saw it subscribing, I said to myself, you know what? If I'm gonna subscribe to anybody, it's gonna be y'all too. I don't really subscribe to too many YouTube channels. Period. So as a matter of fact, it's just y'all too that I'm subscribed to.
Wow, man, that's awesome, man. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, keep doing what you're doing, man. Stay blessed.
All right, my man. Have a good one. Thank you for the call. And let me 1 second. I'm just gonna read these 2 super chats, then I'll get to you. Sean, thank you so much for the $4 super chat. He says we have the man judge. I think that's what the emojis means. I'm not too good with emojis, guys. I'm 34. But thank you so much for the love. And Yvonne Felipe with the $2 super chat. You can forget about it. He says, Mets saying we got to believe. Chris, I tried calling. Yeah, Yvonne, I wish I could take everybody. There's a lot of people calling at once. I can only take one person at a time. But Yvonne, man, thanks so much for the love, man. Thank you for being a great subscriber. And, what's going on, man?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for the call, buddy. Who's this?
Yeah. This is Ash. I'm a Brooklynite, but I live in Maryland.
Yeah. Knuckles. Ashy Knuckles? Is that your name on YouTube?
No, not
Oh, okay.
me.
No, because I have a subscriber with that name. I thought that's who you... No. What's up, buddy?
I had a question, man. All right, so Joe Judge coming from the Patriots, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that there is any way that Belichick sacrificed Joe Judge as opposed to giving up his offensive coordinator who people really had their eyes on?
Say that one more time.
All right. Do you think that there is any way that Belichick gave up Joe Judge because he did not want to lose his offensive coordinator? You see what I'm saying?
No, yeah, I know. Yeah, people have brought that up. It's possible. My personal opinion with that is Bill Belichick, to me, has such a great relationship with the Giants. There's stories about him. He gets goosebumps every time he steps in the stadium. I really think Belichick is on his way out, and he knows it. And he saw an opportunity to give the Giants give them a recommendation for a guy that he thought could be a great head coach in the future. And the Giants even said in the press conference today that they've had their eyes on this guy not just now; it's been years. So I think I think that I don't think that's the case. I hope not. I try to remain optimistic, but I get the conspiracy. I definitely get the conspiracy. And Rudy Pat, man, thanks for the $2 donation. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
But anything else you want to talk about?
No, man, just keep doing what you do. I enjoy watching you, man. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it, man. I thank you to everybody. Everybody in the chat. Thank you guys for all your support of my channel. You guys are the reason I put out as much content as I do. So thank you for the call, man, and thank you for the support.
Have a great one, man.
You too, buddy. All right. Thank you so much, Aaron, man. I really appreciate that, man. I've seen you comment on a lot of my videos recently. Thank you for the love, man. He says, I love your YouTube channel. Keep up the good work. Go Big Blue, man. I really appreciate that, man. And thank you for being a great Giants fan and subscriber. What's up, buddy? Thanks for calling in. Who's this?
Hey, Chris. This is Mark. My YouTube name is Metal Gear.
Metal Gear, yeah. What's up, buddy?
Hey, man. I'm just excited that Judge is gonna bring fundamentals back. My biggest thing is tackling. My goodness, from like the 2012 to until Coughlin stepped down, tackling was just so bad. I hope that's one of the first things that he fixes on our defense is tackling.
Yeah, well, tackling is horrible. There's horrible open field tackling this entire year. I've said that in all the live streams. The fundamentals. What this guy expressed is what our biggest problems are. It's fundamentals, and fundamentals are the inches that win football games. The one missed tackle here, the one missed tackle there, they add up to losses at the end of the year. So just by doing things the proper way, you'll win 2 or 3 more games every year.
Right. And I'm excited he's gonna fix that. I remember that Saints game with the 52-49 back in 2015.
6 touchdowns.
6 touchdowns, 0 INTs, and then freaking they gave it up in the last. It was. I hate that. I hate that game, man.
I hate games like that. I didn't, whether it's the Giants or anybody else. You give me like a 17-14 slugfest. I don't like 52. This isn't basketball.
Right. Hey, but I just wanted to point that out, man. Thanks for taking my call. Appreciate you. I love you and Bad Dog and Fisk.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I love both those guys too. Actually, I'm working with Bad Dog tonight. I'll be on Fisk channel tomorrow. So I love working with both those guys, man. And yeah, thank you, man, for all your support on my channel, man. Thank you for the call, and thank you for being a great Giants fan. And hopefully, you're happy with the hire.
I am.
All right.
Have a good one, Chris.
All right, buddy. Have a good one.
All right, bye.
What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Christopher, how you doing, man?
What's going on? Who's this?
Bavit, man. How you doing?
Hey, Bavit. What's up, buddy?
Finally, man. It's been like a lottery in here.
Jimmy, man, thanks for the $2 super chat. I appreciate it. Bavit's one of my best, man. What's up, Bavit?
Yeah, man. I'm just going straight to it. So I think from the reports I read before the hires, I'm talking about Matt Rule right now. I think we dodged the bullet with Matt Rule. I'll tell you why.
You think we dodged the bullet with Matt Rule, really?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Yeah. So there were reports coming out. I think you made a video on this. That if Matt Rule got hired, he would have also picked up his defensive coordinator from college.
Yes, defensive coordinator from college, along with who was I can't even remember the offensive coordinator who it was off the top of my head. But yes, the defensive coordinator Snow from college was the guy who was going to bring in. Yes.
Yeah, but I think I'm pretty sure he's going to bring in defensive coordinator from college and be the defensive coordinator in the NFL. So that would not make one, but 2 college coaches will be on our coaching staff with no NFL experience. Think about that.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
So, and then I think the offensive coordinator was like a wide receiver coach for the Giants a couple years ago.
Yeah, Sean Ryan, I think his name was. And his pluses were he was the wide receiver coach when they had the great receiving core in 2011. Victor Cruz obviously broke out the Super Bowl team. Odell Beckham's rookie year, so he had a lot of success there. And I think he was a quarterback coach with the Detroit Lions before Stafford got hurt. Was having a good year.
Yeah, but just look at that lineup right there. You just if it wasn't for Matt Rule's hype, you just know that's just going to be a failure right there. You got you have no NFL experience, you got nothing. So I think we actually dodged the bullet right there with Matt Rule being out of the lineup.
You know what? Here's what I'm going to say about that. First, I'm going to read the super chat before I lose it. Brett, thanks for the love, man. $10 super chat. He says, couldn't agree more with your take on the press conference. Finally, we have a coach that can control the room. Let's hope it translates on the field. Keep doing your thing on this channel. Nice work. I really appreciate that, man. Thanks for the love, man. Thank you for being a great subscriber. And, yeah, hopefully you keep watching. That's what I hope. I hope you stick around. You could definitely make an argument with Matt Rule's projected staff. It is more of a risk. Well, we got to see the staff that this guy brings in, Joe Judge. But with the projected staff for Matt Rule, overall, you could certainly make an argument that staff, with their lack of experience overall, offensive and defensive coordinators, is a bigger risk than if Joe Judge brings in experienced coordinators. Because Joe Judge basically, he's going to have his say in all parts, but he's going to let those guys do their job. He's going to be CEO. He's going to be He's gonna bring in guys that he thinks are gonna do their jobs well, but he's gonna let them do it. So yes, you could certainly make a good argument that Matt Rule's staff is more risky than Joe Judge's, depending on who he brings in. That's a good point you bring up.
Yeah, and also I bring up the Daniel Jones thing about the quarterback. I don't know if you remember this, but the leading up to the draft, it was actually mocked that the Patriots were the favorite to get Daniel Jones.
I know they were.
And they really liked the guy.
Yeah.
So they obviously had the research on this guy. So if obviously a Patriots guy, I'm pretty sure this guy loves Daniel Jones, now he's quarterback. So I don't think we have any worries about potential change. I don't think we're going to end that bullshit with Joe Judge as our head coach.
So good call, Bavith. Bringing up some really good points. Bavith's the man. Good call. He's bringing up some really good points. I agree. I completely agree. The Patriots, all the mocks had the Patriots interested in Daniel Jones, and maybe that played something into it. Maybe Belichick scouted this guy out, and he's looking to help his guy out. He went to the Giants, said, they got a good future quarterback over there. We saw what we saw in him. Go over there and get yourself a good job. It's very possible. It's a good point you bring up as well. And a lot of people have started to point to the fact that maybe Steve Belichick might come over. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't necessarily see him leaving his dad unless Belichick tells him, listen, I'm leaving in a year or two anyway. Go over to the Giants. I doubt that happens, but we'll have to see how that plays out. But that's a good point you bring up as well with Daniel Jones.
And I forgot what I was going to say. Shoot. That's what it was. When the Giants first hired Judge, I was more upset. I was more shocked, to be honest with you, because obviously I know the guy, so obviously I'm not going into the guy hating him. After watching his press conferences, your videos, I'm definitely taking a positive light on him. And I don't know what to say, man. The one thing I was gonna say is I watched all your head coaching videos, the head coaching candidates.
I appreciate
that. The one I did not watch was Joe Judge, because I was like, you know what, we're not getting this guy.
I'm gonna tell you, Bavith, I laughed because I thought the same thing, because obviously I see the views I get on these videos, and the Bieniemy one got like 7,000. The Wink Martindale probably got 6,000 or 7,000. All of them got like between 6,000 and 7,000, but that one got like 2,500, 3,000. Mm-hmm. And then after he's hired, all of a sudden it gets 6,000. So I'm like, I think everybody shared your mindset. Everybody's like, all right, I'm gonna skip over that one. There's no way they're ever gonna hire this guy. So I don't think you were alone in that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that video started going viral, because not a lot of videos about Joe Judge. So if people look up who's Joe Judge, it's gonna be like the first thing that pops up. Yeah,
nobody. Well, I think Mike Too Nice, from what people told me, did a video on him. But other than me and him, I don't think many other people did a video on him. But I'm gonna let you go because I got a lot of people calling in. But Bavith is the man. One of my best. Been here since damn near the beginning. Thank you for the call, my man.
Yeah, have a good night, man.
All right, buddy. Next caller, you're on live. Thank you for and what's going on, Gino? Thanks for being here. Let me shout out a couple people. Charles Deo's in the house. T Savage in the house. Andre's in the house. Afghanistan, Prince Castro, Goat. Thank you to everybody for being here. I saw Bigger Mike. I don't know if he's still here. Thank you for being here. Stephen Lilly, Dog Egg in the house. Charles Deo. Thank you guys. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Oh wow, I made it. All right.
You made it. What's going on? Who's this?
I made it. This is Main Focus 23.
What's going on, Main Focus?
All right, it's a lot being said in the chat. There's a lot of stuff saying who's doing this and doing what. Just to focus on the new coach. I like his demeanor because it's cliche. Most people will say. I think he's gonna figure out what's really going on with the Giants, just based off his experience, who he's been around. Because I think that was missing the last couple years since Coughlin left. Like the little no nonsense, not afraid to say, hey, I'm wrong here, but this is what we're gonna do to fix it. I feel like that pedigree of making adjustments with a team, it was missing the last couple of years. Accountability, players kind of talking out of turn, saying they're not doing this. The whole thing with Jenkins.
Right.
I felt like he could have handled that better.
He could have.
Just the way he say those things. And, you know, me being a Brooklyn native, you know myself, I'm in Virginia now. And you know, you got to swallow your pride on some things, but I felt like it wasn't a level of authority. I didn't think Pat did a bad job. I think Pat didn't have the demeanor to allow himself to have more time. I'm pretty sure he would have been successful because I still think we need a right tackle.
Right. We
still need a left tackle. We got a lot of salary cap in the mix. And I felt like what's the Panthers' new coach? I felt like he
Matt
tried
Rule.
to hustle us a little bit.
Matt Rule. Yeah, no, he definitely did. He tried
Yeah.
to use leverage.
Yeah, and that's the New Yorker. You got to respect. If you're a New Yorker, you go and get your money.
Yeah,
You
you know what? I can't blame him. I'm not mad at Matt Rule, but I don't blame the Giants for not giving him the money.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at him.
I heard a lot of good things.
Yeah, you got to make your money. What I'll say about Pat Shurmur is this. I agree with you. Pat Shurmur's biggest problem, one, I agree with you that he didn't have the talent to win. I don't think many coaches would have. Maybe they would have won some more games, but no coach would have been on this team this year and probably made the playoffs and definitely not won a Super Bowl. Pat Shurmur's biggest problem, though, was he didn't give us hope. He was very bland in press conferences. The way he handled the timeouts late in games, things like that. People didn't connect with Pat Shurmur. That's why he lost his job.
And his time management didn't help him either.
Horrible. And that's another thing. That's another thing that I've read and I've heard that this guy should be very good at. Because when you're a special teams coordinator, you got to be on top of everything. Clock management, things like that. Rushing the punting unit in and off the field. That is one thing I think will be a strength of Joe Judge. And a lot of people have said that. And that was a big weakness of Pat Shurmur.
Right. And I'm going to address the Giants defense right now. This is my assessment for what I saw. It's one guy I want everybody in the chat to pay attention. Ryan Conley. If you was paying attention to him in the preseason, he was everywhere on the field.
Regular season, before he got hurt.
Exactly. And I don't want everybody to forget about him because that he caught my eye out of all the guys on defense. Of course, you got Dexter and all of them. And the corners and the secondary, I don't think that scheme really fit what they really good at. And Judge addressed that too.
It's a great point.
Like he says,
it's a great point.
I feel like, okay, I'm going to take my time and see what these guys can do and exploit that against teams' weaknesses. And I want people to develop, add layers to their game. And I feel like that's what's going to be his Excalibur is challenge guys to be better.
That's a great point you bring up about the scheme not fitting the personnel. And
exactly.
And I'll tell you what, and I got James Bettcher's excuse when he made what he made, right? He said basically teams were lining up their best wide receiver in the slot because they knew that they could expose a Corey Ballantyne. The other problem that I had, obviously,
But they're rookies.
Exactly. But he didn't want to.
It's okay.
I know. But his excuse was he didn't want to move them around. He didn't want to put the number because he didn't want them to get confused. And I got the excuse. And then the other problem that I had, it's a zone. They was playing way too much zone. You got a press corner in DeAndre Baker. You want to make this rookie be in the best position to succeed, and you're putting him in a role he's never been in when he was in college. So that was my I agree with you.
Love was lost. He was lost in the mix, I felt.
Love didn't get a chance to play until like week 11, week 12.
Exactly.
Yeah, he played well when he got a chance, but and maybe Love played better because of that. Maybe because he got more experience on the bench, he got to learn. But I agree with you.
Look. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Jason Garrett, whoever's talking about Jason Garrett in the chat, let's leave Jason out for. Let Jason have a year or two to recollect himself, because everybody knows Jason was Jerry's puppet. Let's just be frank.
Jerry. I wouldn't mind Jason Garrett. I think he'd be a solid OC, but we're not getting him. We're not getting him. This guy.
I don't know.
This guy's gonna pick his staff. This guy's gonna pick his staff.
That right there, to me, and I'm gonna address it, Jack. I know you got other people call it. To me, you gotta address the offensive line. I know we need pass rush, but if you look at Golden to me earned a contract. Leonard earned a contract. Let them guys get the chemistry going. And, I say let Ryan Conley come back from injury and see where we at. But we gotta protect Daniel.
I'm with
Daniel
you.
is
I'm
the
with you,
key.
man. We need that left tackle.
And
We need that left tackle.
We need Conley too.
We do.
I'm done on Nate. I'm sorry. Like,
Oh,
I
Nate,
am so
Nate,
done
Nate,
on
Nate, Nate's not good. I think they'll keep him one more year, move him to right tackle this year, but after that they're gonna cut him.
I think the age group of Nate, he's not in sync with everybody else. Everybody else is young. I say, like you said, if we can't get Coughlin, definitely get Andrews from Georgia, and move Nate to the right side. That would be the move I would like to see. I think the fact that Judge is a special teams player, he's going to hold people accountable. I think we're going to see an instant improvement, depending on the coordinator now, on the defensive end from a development. Let them get developed. They just got in the league.
Right.
Let them develop.
I'm with you, man.
That offensive line, you got to protect Jones. And Saquon is your investment, too.
Oh, they got to build the offense around Saquon, and he's going to help Daniel Jones a lot. I got to let you go though because I got a bunch of callers, but I just want to say thank you for being a great subscriber and great call, man. Thanks for the call, buddy.
Awesome.
All right, my man. Have a good one. All right. What's going on before we talk? I just want to read off a couple of super chats. Anthony, thanks for the love, man. He says, note to the front office, we want fans to back. So if you want fans to back and trust you, make us shut up with W's like Eli did. Judge, welcome to the courthouse. You're on probation. I hear you, Anthony. And I think a lot of Giants fans feel your mindset. You got to produce wins before a lot of fans are going to get on board with the hire, and I get it. We need production. And Charles, man, thanks for the love, man. Charles, I really appreciate that. He says, we got a New England guy. We should be better at situational football. Spot on. And that's what New England does best. They find guys that are good at specific roles, and they make the most out of them. And hopefully they do the same thing here. Sorry about that. What's going on? You're on live. Thanks for calling in.
Chris, it's Sam Borowski. How are you?
Sam Borowski, what's up, man? Great subscriber of mine. What's up, my man?
You did a great job when you detailed all the coaches that he's similar to, because that was one of the things that sold me before you did that video. I kept hearing Harbaugh, and if you look at the way they've built Baltimore, if the Giants follow suit, I think they're going to be in good shape. Even the tight end, Caden Smith, reminds me a little of that guy Mark Thomas who made the Pro Bowl this year. I think he was a rookie on Baltimore. He might have been a second-year player, but he made the Pro Bowl, and he's got a similar body type to Caden Smith. And I'm a huge Evan Ingram fan, but I'm 50-50 on this guy. That's a big decision.
Yeah.
Because if he continues to get hurt, right? I mean,
that's a tough decision because the way it works on the 5th year of the contract, the Giants will have to make the determination whether or not they want to give him the extension before the start of this year. So
yeah, before the season, that's crazy.
And that's hard to do based on his injury history.
And the thing is, you got to admit, though, he's the kind of guy that can come back and bite you. He could be
he definitely
an
is.
All-Pro. It's a tough decision, and so that's going to be one of the main ones. The other thing that I keep harping on, and I said it in under a couple of your videos in the comments, he's got to pick a great staff. I am not on board with Belima. He's not known as being a great defensive coordinator. He was the defensive line coach. I don't want to just get all this guy's buddies. I like Joe Judge. I like what the Giants did, but I don't think you go out and get Brett Belima. I heard one of the subscribers saying, oh, Wade Phillips is too old. Give me a break. His team went to the Super Bowl last year, and they held the Patriots, Joe Judge's Patriots, to 13 points. And they weren't a terrible defensive team this year. Look, the Rams had some issues, but this guy's one of the all-time greats.
Oh, I would not question Wade Phillips at all. I think he's one of the best defensive minds in football. I will say he's probably only going to give you 2 or 3 years. He's a stopgap defensive end, but he may be the guy that gets this defense on the right track. And we'll see. I think Joe Judge is going to have a lot of say in it, though. I do. I think that's what they're doing. But maybe he'll like Wade Phillips. Who knows? And maybe they'll bring him.
You never know. But
they should. I'll say this. They should at least consider Wade Phillips. I'll say that.
No, totally. Even my cousin, and it's not because he's my cousin. Look him up. Lou Anarumo. He was our DB's coach last year.
Mm-hmm.
Lou is the defensive coordinator of the Bengals. I know the Bengals are bad, but it's twice he's been a defensive coordinator in the league. He was on the Dolphins when they made the playoffs under Dan, and then when they fired their staff, he was the DB's coach. They promoted him to defensive coordinator under Dan Campbell, former Giants tight end. I mean, Lou is well thought of in the league. When they had the Thursday night game and the Monday night game, all they did was talk about how he was going to be a head coach. And I actually thought, because he was the DB's coach and he's kind of on the Giants' radar, that you would have heard his name either as defensive coordinator. But he's twice been a defensive coordinator. He's younger, I believe, than Bielema. I think that Bielema has not shown anything to get that job. And I think that he's got to surround himself with talent. Ditto with, I don't agree with the last caller, Jason Garrett. I did not want him as head coach, but as offensive coordinator, I would take that guy in a heartbeat. He's, as an offensive coordinator, same thing. Jay Gruden is another one I would love. I'm not all down with Freddie Kitchens, but I admit, while I don't like Freddie Kitchens and he looked like an idiot this year,
right,
as a head coach, I will say he was good as offensive coordinator the previous year.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be fair. Baker Mayfield broke the rookie touchdown record when he was the OC there the year before. I would be completely fine with Garrett. I knew it before I made the Garrett video. A lot of Giants fans are going to be like, what are you talking about? I hate Jason Garrett. But, I don't think he's going to be the guy. I think they're going to bring in guys he wants to bring in. But Jason Garrett would be a fine offensive coordinator. The guy's had a lot of success as an offensive coordinator. He turned Dak Prescott, who was a 3rd or 4th round pick, into a very good quarterback. Tony Romo was undrafted. So if you're looking specifically at the development of Daniel Jones, Jay Gruden would be a good fit. He wanted Daniel Jones on draft night. He thought he fit his offense. And I do think, I'm with you. I think Garrett, he's a former quarterback. He's a guy that's gotten a lot out of quarterbacks who didn't have high expectations coming into the league. I would not be against that hire. But I honestly don't think those are going to be the guys they're looking at. I think they're going to be looking at some guys that he has familiarity with. That's what I think they're going to do.
Well, if you go by that, he works with Kitchens. He's friends with Kitchens. Kitchens could be the guy. And I'm okay with that because of him as an offensive coordinator is way different than him as a head coach, as you said. The other last point I'll make, the key area, the draft. They have the 4th pick in the draft. And they have to do the right thing. Now, obviously, no one's going to complain with Andrew Thomas. That's a great player. The other guy that we keep talking about, I love Isaiah Simmons. I think he's going to fit 4-3, 3-4. He can do. He plays so many positions. He could be your middle linebacker, your inside linebacker, your outside linebacker, the will. I think that guy looks like a giant linebacker. And, when you look at Ray Lewis, I think he's either the same height or he's an inch taller than Ray Lewis. He's about 8 pounds lighter, so he's not that light at 230. And as you said, his first 2 years he could put on 8 pounds, but he doesn't really need to.
And also tell you, Brian Urlacher wasn't that big.
No, he's similar to Urlacher. That's why I said to you in the comments, I think this guy would be a great middle linebacker. Urlacher was maybe 5 pounds heavier than him, and he put on another 5 or 6 pounds in his first couple of years, but he was about 6'3", 240.
If I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't Urlacher a safety at some point in college?
He was. He was an oversized safety that they converted to linebacker, I think, his last year.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying this guy reminds me of him, and because he plays so many positions, I think he could play the middle linebacker, and I think we should go to the 4-3. We have better personnel. And there's 3 pass rushers. Ngakoue is just one of them. The guy on the Ravens is a free agent who had 9 or 10 sacks this year.
Well, some of the big names, you got Shaq Barrett, you've got Ngakoue, you got Fowler from the Rams.
Fowler from the Rams.
Yeah. There's a couple of pass rushers.
And there's I'm not remembering his name. He had a big year. The guy in the Ravens is a free agent. But what I'm saying is, you could probably get a pass rusher there. This kid can play middle linebacker. I keep saying put the X-Man on the other end. They're going to re-sign Williams. I think that's pretty much a done deal, which is fine. I didn't like the trade, but he did play well. I admit that.
He did play well.
Played well in their scheme, and I think that Dexter Lawrence is only going to get better. This could be a 5-6 sack guy, stuff the run, big play here and there, go to the 4-3. And you mentioned it, I think, before, was that, they tried to fit a scheme that didn't work with the defensive players they had.
That was the problem.
And that was part of their downfall. And then the last thing, because I know you got too many callers, word came out. It says today that he's probably going to retain Thomas McGahee. Great move. I know you want all new guys, but
no. That I made a video on that today. That was a great move. I'm completely on board with that. That guy did a great job. He's one of the best special teams coordinators in the sport. 18 years of experience. I'm completely on board with that decision. I thought that was a great choice.
And we have great special teams. The only one I question is Rosas. Hopefully he'll be back to Pro Bowl form. If not, we got to jettison him because he has really soured me. But and look, I know that you were very fair with Shermer, but by rights, I'm not saying we were a playoff team. We should have won 7, maybe 8 games.
I agree.
Really, if you go
No.
back-
I agree. If we had a competent, a good coach, we would have won at least 7 games. I agree with that.
And I think if they draft well and they sign a couple of free agents, just a couple of big ones, I honestly feel they're going to be an 8-9 win team. I don't think they're going to be a 4-win team.
I think 8 wins is
they're gonna
fair. They have a tough schedule too. We got to factor that in. But I think 8 wins, 7 or 8 wins is a fair expectation next year. If
And I think
we
that
bring
second
in
year could
some
be a
big guys
jump.
in free agency.
Yeah, so let's go, Giants. You're doing a great job, Chris. You're passionate. I love it. Hopefully our Mets will be better this year. And one of these days I'm going to email you a photo of Len Dykstra under my Christmas tree. Totally wrong. But,
All right, my man. Let's go Mets, and thank you for the call, and let's have a great offseason.
God bless. Stay fresh.
All right, my man. And MYG31, man. MYG31, thank you so much, man, for the love, man. $2 super chat. He says, I'm glad we got Joe Judge, but let's see how he does. Exactly. I'm not going to tell you the guy's already a great coach. I'm just going to tell you, let's give him a chance. I like what I've seen so far, and I think he's got high upside. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
I take you to the candy shop.
Oh, no. It's Isaiah.
It's the Italian stallion.
What's going on, my man? What's going on, my man? What's up, buddy?
I love you, brother. What's going on, man?
Let me just read this real quick before I lose it, man. Thanks, LA Garol, man. He says, any chance Betcher stays on? I say -5%. -5%. But, Isaiah, what did you think about this guy? What do you think about this guy?
I'm ready to run through a wall, Chris. I'm ready to run through a wall. I like him. Listen, this is what I wanted. I wanted a young coach. You hear great reviews from him. I mean, I'm excited. I'm purely excited. I think this is the guy, Chris. I really do. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, Chris. What Matt Rule did kind of turned me off. It really did.
He tried. Listen, Isaiah. He tried to get leverage. He definitely did. He saw we were in a desperate situation, and he tried to get the most out of us that he could.
Yeah, and listen, I'm not gonna knock him because, hey, if you're good at something, I always believe you got to get paid for it.
Right.
I wholeheartedly believe. But listen, I'm excited for Judge, man. I think he's disciplined. I mean, if you listen to the press conference, I mean, how can you not be excited? And you don't win through press conferences, but listen, I am pumped. I'm ready for the draft. I'm ready to see who we get. I'm 100% with you with Jason Garrett. People got to understand football, man. No, he wasn't a good. Listen, this great example. Pat Shurmur is not a good head coach.
Right.
He's just not. But he's a great OC. You got to say he's one of the best. He's one of the better OCs.
Listen, Isaiah. The whole reason that these guys got head coaching positions to fail was because they were great coordinators. Jason Garrett, Pat Shurmur, Freddie Kitchens, these guys were only considered for head coaching jobs because of the success they had as coordinators. And I think people need to, I think there's a lot of people that realize that, but some people who don't, you need to judge them based on what they did in that role. Because we're not hiring them to be a head coach. We're hiring them to do what they did successfully. So that's my mindset on it.
Hey, Chris, can I say one thing before I go there? It really pissed me off listening to ESPN. I'm sick and tired of every time a black coach doesn't get picked, they go straight to the Giants. The Giants never had a black coach. Well, Jesus Christ. How many other teams haven't had a black head coach? This is ridiculous that
Listen,
keep picking on the...
listen. I don't like to get into politics on my channel, but I'll talk about that real quick. I do agree with the talking point. I think there's only 4 minority coaches right now, if I'm not mistaken, in the NFL, and that includes Ron Rivera, I think. I do agree with the talking point that they're definitely underrepresented. I'll agree with that. But in this case with the New York Giants, look at the coaching pool, and I was a fan of Bieniemy and Chris Richard, but those guys didn't have unbelievable resumes. The only guys that you could, like, if you're going to argue the Joe Judge hire based off of lack of experience, then okay, but the guys that were experienced were white. So I didn't get that talking point by ESPN saying that the Giants were racist and I didn't get it. I'm being, that's my honest opinion on it.
the same thing last year with Daniel Jones when they picked him over Dwayne Haskins. They said, well, the Giants never had a black quarterback. Well, listen, man, stop using, because you're in New York and you know it's going to blow up more, stop using us to talk about all the other teams. Talk about the Dallas Cowboys. Talk about all these other teams that never had, a black head coach. And by the way, everybody, I am black. So I don't want this to come out like, exactly, that's my little sunkabook. But, Chris, it's just crazy. But you know what, man? Thank you so much. I know you got 1,000 callers. You are the best. You are the GOAT. I take you to the candy shop, and you know the rest.
All right, Isaiah, man, it was a pleasure, man. Nice talking to you, but we got to go to a Knick game soon.
Oh, of course.
All right, my man. Have a good one.
All right, have a good one.
Have a good one, buddy. And 1 second, I just got to answer this super chat, man. Thank you so much, man. With the $5 super chat, Stephen Lilly, he says, people going on about black head coach is a joke. One of the best head coaches in the NFL, if not one of the best, is the Steelers. You get jobs on merit, simple. Listen, Stephen Lilly, I agree with you for the most part. Like I said, maybe there are some candidates out there that should get a job, and I'd love to see Chris Richard get a job. I think Chris Richard is a good future head coach. I think Bieniemy's a good future head coach, but you can't get on the Giants for picking the guy that they liked. I don't, that's my whole take on it. What's going on? You're on live. Thanks for calling in.
What's up, Tina?
What's going on? Who's this?
Chris Leon.
Chris Leon, what's up, buddy? Great subscriber of mine. What's up, my man?
I'm good, man. Listen to you. I was so happy about what he said in the press conference today, man. Listen to you. I want him to be a great coach for us for this future. I mean, he signed a contract for 5 years. At least I want him to go to the playoffs 3 years out of the 5. And I want him to, get great coaching staff in here to improve this defense, to improve a little bit of the offense. And I think if he could do that, listen, I think we probably could win the Super Bowl in the next few years.
Yeah, that's the key to me for this whole transition. I think this guy's a great lead man. I think he says the right things. I think he's energetic. I think he's going to bring hope. But like you said, we got to get the right pieces around him. That's just as important, if not more important, than the head coach, especially when you're bringing in a head coach as inexperienced as this guy is. You need to surround him with great coordinators, offensive, defensive. It's the same thing with Belichick. Belichick has great staff around him. It's why the Patriots are always successful, because Belichick is smart. He picks out the right guys. And it's the same thing here. We got to surround him with good pieces around him. We need a Pat Shurmur as an offensive coordinator, not a head coach. We need a good OC. We need a good DC. We got to surround him with good pieces, and that's got to be the focus right now.
Yeah. Well, we could get Jason Garrett. I mean, the only thing that Jason Garrett needs to do is just clap. We got him as an offensive coordinator.
Yeah, and Joe Lutz said it perfectly. He said, "Let's get Joe some cannolis." I'm with you, Joe. He needs all the cannolis he could get, man. So you were impressed with this guy today, though? You were impressed?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad to hear it, man. I'm glad. It seems like most Giant fans are excited, and that's nice to hear.
Man, I hope we could be like Tom Coughlin, man.
I'll tell you what, man. I said it with a couple of my callers earlier. There were parts in that speech where he sounded like a young Tom Coughlin. There were.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and this NFC East is like this NFC East this year has been so horrible. So I mean, we could get to the playoffs. You might never know. Like this, I know that the Cowboys got McCarthy. I know that the Redskins got Ron Rivera. But you might never know. I mean, we could go 8-8 and we could still go to the playoffs. So
you never know. Football's a funny game. I'm not gonna, I don't want to get people's expectations too high, because I know if I do that, and not just me, obviously, people in the media, but I don't want us as a fan base to have our hopes way too high, because then you're kind of setting it up for failure. But the NFL, you never know. Nobody thought the 49ers were going to be Super Bowl favorites this year going into the season, so you never know. But what I want to see next year is I want to see good in-game decision-making. I want to see the team taking steps forward. I want to see us come up with good game plans, and the wins will come. It might take 2-3 years, but the wins will come, and we got to let it play out.
See, look, I don't want to end up like the Knicks. You know how the Knicks are. That's why superstars like LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant don't go there because of James Dolan. And
right.
if John Mara and Steve Tisch don't get this coaching, don't get this guy, if you don't win games, they're gonna be the next New York Knicks, and nobody's gonna come here. No coach, no top coach is gonna come here. Possibly no big free agent is gonna come here, because it's just gonna be the same. It's gonna be like New York Knicks, and I don't want to be like the New York Knicks. I don't want to suffer, years without going to the playoffs, or years without winning a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? I want him to be right. I want him to win games for us. I want him to, like I said, get a great defensive coordinator so he can fix these young guys and, get these pieces and win games.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. And thank you guys for pointing out the green screen. Sometimes it goes crazy. I stand up, it fixes it. I don't know. It's a ghetto green screen. I don't know what to tell you. But thank you guys for the love and pointing that out. But, no, I'm with you, man. I don't want to become the Knicks. That's what I worried about. That's what I pointed to in one of my previous videos. I don't remember which one it was, but I think it was the one where they fired Pat Shurmur. I said I don't want to become this unstable organization where you're currently flipping coaches, because the Giants were never that way. The Giants were always stable. They always kept coaches for a long period of time and gave them the proper time. And I get why we moved on from Pat Shurmur. Wasn't a good head coach, but we got to make sure we give this guy the proper staff and the proper time to get this team headed in the right direction. That's all I ask.
Yeah, and I don't want Joe Judge to do what Pat Shurmur did. You remember how this season, he went on 4th and 18. I think it was against the Cardinals. He should have just punted away. I don't want him to do those mistakes that Pat Shurmur did. You know what I'm saying? I want him to do the right thing, the right things to do so we can win those games.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm going to let you go, though, just because I got a lot of people calling in. I just want to say thank you for all the love you always show on my channel and, being a great subscriber.
Thank you. The only thing I got to say is let's go Giants.
Let's go G-Man, baby. Let's go. It's going to be a fun offseason. Can't wait to cover it, man. Have a great one, my man.
All right, you too.
All right. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
What's going on, entertainer? My man, what's good?
What's going on? Who's this?
Man, this is Q-Dog, man.
Oh, Q-Dog. What's up, man?
Man, you know how long it takes to try to get through, brother?
Yeah.
Yo, man,
sorry it took so long.
I just want to say first and foremost, man, love your channel, you and Bad Dog, man, and I'm so glad I found y'all channel, man, last year, man, and it's been giving me all my Giants content. I'm good, man.
I really appreciate
that,
man.
Right now, delivering this load, headed to California. I'm in Chicago right now, but
oh my God,
man, let me tell you.
Wait.
Yeah,
you're in Carolina now, right? That's where you live.
Yeah. I live in North Carolina. Originally from Staten Island, New York. Staten Island, Shaolin, stand up.
So you're going all the way from North Carolina to California.
Yep, in 2 days too, rolling.
Wow. And one thing I want to tell everybody in the chat about Q-Dog, if you don't know, this guy is the biggest Daniel Jones fan in the world, and he was on the Daniel Jones bandwagon months before the draft. I got to give you credit for that, man. I always point that out. Fantastic.
I'm the official spokesman for Daniel Mother Blanken Jones.
Yeah, in February. It was like Valentine's Day, and I'm getting Daniel Blanken Jones messages in my videos. You were way ahead of everybody else on that.
Yeah, man. But much love and respect to all the other subscribers out there. I be telling everybody I come in contact with, you got to subscribe to Entertainer, Bad Dog, Kid Blue, OGR, everybody's channels, man. So much respect, man. But let me tell you, when I watched that press conference today, let me back up a little bit. When I actually watched the initial hiring of Matt Rule to the Panthers, I told my wife, I said, oh, man, because she's all in, a big Giants fan like myself. She was like, so what does that mean? I was like, man, we're not getting our guy. And then about an hour later, I see, Judge. I was like, Judge Brown. I had to Google it, and the damn Judge Joe Brown came up. I said, I know he ain't the damn coach.
I'm gonna tell you what, funny story. Obviously, when I got to make thumbnails, I go on Google Images, and I knew who he was because I did a preview video on him. But when I typed in his name, Judge Joe Brown was like the first 20 pictures that popped up. It took me to like the 21st picture to find a picture of the guy.
I thought the Giants was really going way outside of the box. I'm like, I guess if you want to hire Judge Joe Brown, but. Man, after watching the press conference today, man, I almost felt like a kid that getting ready to for Christmas and the butterflies in his stomach. When I actually watched his press conference, actually with Bob Papa first, and then when I actually watched the actual press conference, man, I was hyped, man, because I was like, I love his demeanor, the way he stands there, and he's built and ready for New York media. You can't shake him, but he answers and he gives all Giants fans. If you got to really search within yourself and say, look, this guy has the tools. Now, granted, it has to show on the field, but he has the tools, man, to really to lead this team. And I think whoever, like he said, he's going to put people in position that wants to play. If you don't want to be here, you're not going to be here, you know. And I'm excited, man. I'm really excited for him, his family. Like I said, the New York Giants organization is a story, you know, a franchise, and, you know, you get into a lot of debates with other, you know, franchises, the Cowboy fans. They ain't been relevant since, you know, I was in junior high school. But, you know, I'm hyped about Coach Judge and Joe Judge, and I'm really hyped. You know, so now we got a JJ, we got a DJ. Man, we all about the J's, man. Turn those J's into W's, man, and we good.
That's all we care about. That's the only letter I care about. Give me W's.
Man.
But I'm with you, man. I'm really encouraged by this, Coach. I really am, and I'm shocked at how much New York Giants fans got behind this guy as quickly as they did, because I really thought it was going to be a Daniel Jones type situation again, which I always say I'm just as guilty as anybody. And but people got behind this guy right away, and I'm glad, because I think he's going to do a good job. I really do in my heart. I think he's going to do a good job.
I really do too, man. And I ain't gonna tie up the line too much, man. I was persistent. I said, man, I gotta get through, man. Keep calling. The phone kept ringing, and I was fueling up the truck, and I was hoping that they didn't get through then, because you wouldn't have heard me, because I'm in Chicago with all this damn wind. But
yeah,
damn, they're ready to roll over.
My God, what's the temperature in Chicago right now? What's the temperature?
Right now it's 51 degrees.
Oh wow, I'm surprised.
But we came through Pennsylvania. It was 11. So you know, my kind of weather. My wife don't like it, but I love it.
You like the cold weather? All right.
Oh yeah, I love it, man. But man, I'm hyped, man. And we definitely got to get up, man. I know we talked about it earlier on the chat. With all the Giants subscribers that can make it, we got to get up for a game next season, man.
Definitely.
Being a truck driver, all I got to do is get a load to Jersey, man, and we gone.
I'm gonna do a much better job organizing that this offseason, and hopefully we get maybe 50, 100 people, a group some way, somehow, to one of these Giants games. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. But all I got to say to the rest of Giants Nation, man, is have patience with Coach Joe Judge. I think the organization did a very diligent job in looking and wanting to hire him and doing their research. Matt Rules just remind me of a real shiesty dude that's trying to get his paper. Don't get me wrong. I ain't mad at somebody trying to get their money, but it's stability that the Giants need, and we're looking at long term. And I envy other teams that have coaches that are 5, 10, 15 years, you know, with a coach. So, man, the Giants really got something going good, and I'm ready, man. I'm ready for the off season right now, man. I'm like, damn, is it time for kickoff yet?
It's gonna be a busy off season. It's gonna be a lot of fun to cover it, and I can't wait, man. I can't wait for next year. I think we're gonna have a much more competitive team, and we're gonna have a lot more positivity going into the season.
Yeah, and I'm hyped for Isaiah Simmons. I was saying that around the same time with Daniel Jones, so I hope they get him too.
They might. I'll tell you what, if it was up to Giants fans, I think we would. I think he's the guy that most Giants fans want right now.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But I ain't going to hold up your line, man. Appreciate you taking my call. This won't be the last time you hear from me, man. So to all the Giants Nation, have patience with Coach Joe Judge. And if you haven't subscribed to Entertainer Bad Dog, man, you know, go ahead and do that, man. And your channel is awesome, man. I do foresee you elevating from YouTube to your own network, man, podcast, whatever the case may be, man. You a talented brother.
I really appreciate
that,
man.
Giants content. My wife calls me obsessive, but I don't care.
I appreciate all the love and the support, man. And, yeah, hopefully I see you. I know you'll be driving, but hopefully you pop in Bad Dog's channel tonight.
Oh, man, definitely. I'll be there, too, man. Yeah, it keeps me going. I'm up for the night shift. So.
All right, my man. My man. Have a good rest of your day.
Yo, man. You too, man. Peace. Thanks for taking my call, man.
You got it, Q-Dog. You got it. That was Q-Dog, man. Q-Dog's a great subscriber. What's going on? You're on live. Thanks for calling. What's going on, Chizol? Thanks for popping in, buddy. What's going on? You're on live. Thanks for calling in. Hello?
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, what's going on? I thought it was Pat Shermer again. What's up, buddy? Who's this?
No, this is Neil at Neil Believes on Twitter. Neil
yeah. Neil's awesome, man. You gave me the idea for that great video I did with the if the Giants what was it, traded up to one? Oh no, if Cincinnati took Chase Young. Yeah. What's up, Neil?
That crazy scenario, dude. I want to thank you for all your positivity. You're my favorite person to watch. I mean, like, this is not about anybody else, like that dog or anything, but like, you are the best person to watch, like, on YouTube and get your feedback because you're always positive, and I love it.
I try to be. You know, when you cover a New York team, and I appreciate that, by the way. When you cover a New York team, the fan base is always going to be more negative than most, I guess, markets. So I always try to bring some kind of positive aspect to it. I'm always going to be honest. Like, when the team needs to be bashed, I'm going to bash them. But I always try to bring a positive outlook. That's one thing I try to do.
Seriously, and you always bring a great perspective to things that, like, never gets brought up. So I really appreciate that. You do an amazing job. And also, I just wanted to say that, like, Joe Judge did an amazing job today. Like, he killed that press conference. And like I commented earlier, it didn't feel like he was giving a sermon. It didn't feel like an offering was being passed around, or we had to drink Kool-Aid after a speech like with Matt Rule, who I think is, like, and not to bash him because, like, he didn't come here, but it just seems like if you look at the differences between them speaking, one kind of seems more like kind of like staged and like kind of rehearsed. But this one, it just seemed like that was who he was, Joe Judge up front there.
Yeah.
And that's who we are. And just like,
it was so matter of fact, and it, you know, even like the he just said things off the top of his head. You're like, this guy's really witty. Like the Chloe comment, like it was like the Miss Chloe comment. I'm like, he's just talking like he's a regular guy at like a bar, and that was one of the things that impressed me most about it. It wasn't like robotic. It didn't seem rehearsed. He just was having a conversation, and yeah, I was impressed with him big time. I thought he did a great job today.
And it sounded like people were saying, like Coughlin or Parcells. It just seemed like that along those lines. I was like, no wonder he got the job. And it was just like, it makes a lot of sense. And I just love how the Giants picked themselves off the mat. And after Matt Rule basically kind of flaked on us or tried to get us to pay as much money as he was getting down there, and we just went with who they had a conviction in their heart with, and that's Joe Judge, and I'm happy about that. But I won't hold you up too long, but I was going to say, I already commented, but you tagged you on the Twitter about trying to have like a big like tailgate party for the first game.
Oh, yeah, I must have missed that then. Yeah, I must have missed that then. I'll definitely, I'll do that. I'll try to organize it on my channel and, you know, Twitter, whatever else. Definitely, yeah.
And I love the camaraderie between all you guys on YouTube. It's just amazing. It's a beautiful thing. We have a beautiful fan base, and like I said, thank you for everything that you do. I really appreciate it.
No, man, thank you for everything you do, man. I always see you retweet my stuff on Twitter. You help my channel out, and thank you for being a great subscriber and a great Giant fan.
Absolutely. Thank you. Go Giants.
You got it, Neil. Thanks for the call. That was Neil, great subscriber. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Oh, yeah. Pac-Man. Sorry, love your channel, man. I love it so much. I just want to say, Andrew Thomas or Isaiah Simmons. What do you think?
Andrew Thomas or Isaiah. Who is this, by the way?
Oh, this is, I'm just a person. I don't really comment that much, but...
That's okay. You don't got to say your name. Andrew Thomas or Isaiah Simmons. It depends what we do in free agency. If we don't sign an offensive lineman, I think I'd lean. Me personally, I think I would lean Andrew Thomas. If we address the offensive line in free agency, I'd probably lean Isaiah Simmons. Depends what we do in free agency.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You got it, man. You got it, man.
All right.
What the hell was that laugh? That was adorable. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
How's it going? First-time caller.
I appreciate it, man. Who's this?
This is Frank from Florida, big Giants fan up from Connecticut.
That's awesome, Frank. How you doing, buddy?
Great, great. I just want to talk about the stigma, the whole Belichick tree, coaches being bad coaches. I think they get a bad rap because they go to bad organizations.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
You know, you get a lot of these coaches, like I think Brian Flores, he showed how well he could coach this year. But a lot of them, Mangini, I mean, I think they were great coaches, just went to bad organizations. Belichick failed, went to the Browns.
I think I'm not going to say that's the case for all of them, but I agree that some of them for sure have been put in really bad situations. I agree with that. That's a good point you bring up. I actually kind of alluded to that a little bit in my video, but I should have pointed to it more. You're absolutely right. Flores did a fantastic job this year. I thought Flores should have gotten Coach of the Year votes this year. That's how good of a job he did with Miami, and that's encouraging. Basically, when you look at Flores' resume and you compare it to Joe Judge, it's identical. So if he can do it, why can't Judge? That's the way I look at it.
I lost you for a second.
Oh, you still there?
But yeah, I'm still here.
What's up, buddy?
But I think Joe Judge, he reminds me a lot of Belichick and Saban, the Coughlin, Bill Parcells. The other ones didn't really do that. I mean, look at Mangini, really nice guys. But Joe Judge comes across more like Saban and Belichick. Got the demeanor.
I agree. I saw a little bit of Belichick in that press conference. I also saw a little bit of Coughlin in that press conference. And I saw a guy that I really like, and hopefully it translates to the football field, and that's all we can hope for. And hopefully he gets the right staff around him. But the one thing that I take out of this that I'm really happy about, I think Giants fans are optimistic. I think they're behind the hire, and that's all we can hope for, man. And just don't listen to the talking heads, the people on ESPN that are gonna try to say this is a horrible hire. You got to let it play out. You got to see what the guy's got, and hopefully he's the guy. That's all we can hope for. You got to give it a couple of years.
I think Mara and them saw somebody that they could have on their coaching for them for the next 10 to 15 years, and that's what they want.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
I think it was a great hire. And Shermer, he's just too nice of a guy for New York. He reminded me of Norv Turner too much.
Yeah, I think Shermer's a smart guy. I think he's a good offensive mind, but I don't think he's a good head coach, especially in New York. I don't think he had it in him. And it sucks because I like Shermer. I think he's a nice guy, but he wasn't given the right situation, and he wasn't a good leader. And I'm sure he'll get a job somewhere else, but it won't be with the Giants. Hopefully, this is the guy though.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, man.
Nice talking to you.
Yeah, man. Thank you for the support on the channel. Thank you for calling in.
All right, have a good night.
You too, man. And what's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, Chris, what's going on, Pesty Analyst?
What's going on? I got to get Pest on the channel soon. I'm definitely going to have you on soon, and we got to talk. But what's going on, buddy?
No worries, man. Hey, I'm off the ledge. What was it? 2 days ago? 2 days ago we hired Judge, right? 2 days ago?
Yeah, I think it was 2 days ago. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So 2 days ago, I'm up in Washington D.C. I'm at work. I see a notification on my phone because I happen to step outside, and it messed my whole day up. All right. messed my whole day up.
Right.
Snow starts falling. They
Wait. The second you got the notification, snow started falling?
Well, no. So snow started falling about 2 hours later.
Oh, okay.
I was still at work.
Okay.
They released everybody from work, right? And I started making my way to the train. Snow starts falling. I'm just like, this day sucks. And it took me forever to get home. Needless to say, by the time I got home, I was riled up. I was angry. I was just pissed off. And I jumped in front of my microphone. And I unleashed on my microphone about this head coach. Okay,
right.
I was mostly upset about the fact that hey man, there was a lot of other good candidates out there. But let me tell you, man, today I happened to be home. I'm watching this press conference. I am off the ledge right now.
Right,
100% off the ledge.
So you bought in. You're like this guy could be a leader. You bought in.
Whoa! Pump the brakes, Crispy Entertainer. Pump them damn brakes. I will not say that I am all in. I'm not saying.
No. I didn't say all in. I said bought in.
I'm not. No, I'm not buying anything yet. Okay, I'm not buying him a single thing. I'm not giving him a penny of my money in terms of like believing that this is the guy. But this is what I will say. Man, I was impressed. With the things he said. I was impressed with his philosophy. I'm impressed. I can see why this guy got the hire, because if he talked in that interview the way he talked at that press conference, I would have been clamoring to hire the guy too. Like, all right, you know what? This dude's pretty good. Let's get him. So right. I can see why.
Right. And that's all I ask. Listen, I'm not gonna tell anybody that this guy's the answer. I don't know yet, but all I ask is at least acknowledge why the Giants hired him and give the guy a chance. And don't. I'm not just talking to you specifically. I'm talking to fans in general. Don't judge this guy after 8 games. You got to give this guy a couple of years. He's a rookie head coach. Let him get the staff in place and let him build a team. Rome wasn't built in a day. That's all I ask, and we're gonna find out if he's the guy. But we have to give him a real chance before we say this guy sucks. That's all I ask.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I'm assuming that they probably gave him like a 3-year deal, maybe a 4-year deal, something like that. Who cares what the numbers are? We don't care. It's not Matt Rule money, which is ridiculous.
7 years is crazy. And, and I liked Rule. 7 years is crazy to commit to a head coach without any NFL experience. That's crazy.
No, that's crazy. So like, however long this guy's contract is, I think he should just be here for as long as his contract is. Give him some time and figure it out. Like, listen, I tell you what, and I when you hear my videos a couple of months from now, when I'm talking about what I think is going to happen in the season, I personally don't think that the Giants are going to make leaps and bounds. Right? I don't expect it. And anyone that's listening right now, like, don't expect leaps and bounds, because this is still a process.
Right.
So it's going to take a while. This is not going to happen in one season. I know that, like, turnover for rosters and teams going from worst to first, it happens, right? But it's an anomaly. It doesn't quite happen that way. And that's like you're not going to get sustained success from a team that goes from the worst team in their division to the best team getting into the playoffs. They typically get their ass kicked, and then they're like middle of the pack. So we would prefer for this to slowly build. That's what everybody needs to understand. It needs to slowly build.
I agree with you, and hopefully not too slow. But I agree. And Stephen Lilly says 7 years is crazy. And what is the Raiders with 10 years? I agree. I thought the Gruden contract with 10 years was crazy too. But at least Gruden was an established head coach with a resume that had won a Super Bowl. But yeah, no, I'm with you, man. I'm willing to suffer with another year or two to get to the point where we're a consistent football team again, like we were with Eli Manning for the first half of his career, where every year you knew we were going to be 500 or better for the for 7 or 8 year period, and we were always competing to win a Super Bowl. That's what I want to get back to. I want to get back to a point where going into the season we say, okay, this team's got a shot. And we're not there yet, but we have to let it play out. We have to let the team grow and build. And I'll tell you what, the last 2 years we're starting it. We've drafted well. We have cap space. It's a rebuild, and that's it. We got to let them rebuild. Otherwise, we're going to be constantly stuck in mediocrity.
Absolutely, I 100% agree with you. All right, well, listen, I'm not going to, because, man, you and I can sit here and we can talk hours, and I'm pretty sure we're going to in the future.
Yeah.
But I know you got a million callers, man. Hey, listen, Giants fans that can hear Chris the Entertainer, we're going to be all right, man. It's going to be rough, but we're going to be all right. And, listen, there's going to be times where we're going to flip out about this team. I'm going to flip out about this team a lot. It's going to be on YouTube, and everybody can make fun of me later. But we're going to be okay. So go Giants, go Big Blue, and I'll get up with you later, Chris.
All right, my man. Thanks for the call, buddy. Have a good one.
All right, brother. Take care.
Great call. That's PTA Sports. That's PTA Sports. Great caller. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, Entertainer. This is Big Chell from Australia. How are you?
Whoa, we got an Australian caller. I love the accent. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, I thought with the press conference, we've got a worldwide audience out there, so I thought I'll phone in and really enjoy your videos. So
I really appreciate that. Let me ask you a question. Being from I don't know, is the NFL big over in Australia?
Yeah, I guess everything these days is worldwide. So we've got, I've obviously supported the Big Blue for a long time now. So
what made you pick the Giants?
I think it goes back to Eli Manning. I was sort of doing a bit of research back in the day, and sort of really enjoyed what his family was about. So yeah,
that's awesome, man.
Eli back in the day. So.
That's awesome, man. That's great, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling in. So so what did you think about the press conference today?
Yeah, I think like everyone's saying, really impressive. Came off, stern but fair. But like anything, I think you just gotta, we're on a rebuild and can't expect success overnight. So I think we just got to be patient and realize that we're in a better position now than we were, say, a couple of years ago with the salary cap and some we've got a quarterback and a running back that are pretty impressive. So I just think we just need to be patient and give the guy a chance.
Yeah, I could. When you go back and you look at when we hired a Pat Shurmur, you really look at that. We were in salary cap hell. We, we had all these older guys with bad contracts. We got rid of all of that. We've now had 2 years of pretty good drafting. It's a much better situation today, in my opinion, than it was 2 years ago. We had a lot of guys that were making a lot of money that they weren't earning. We got rid of those guys, and we kind of started from scratch. And when you start from scratch, it takes a couple of years. But I still think we're headed in the right direction. I think there's reason for optimism for sure.
Yeah, I definitely think like the type of player that we seem to be investing in seems to be, you look at all those, Odell and Janoris and I mean all those sort of big, maybe thinking they're better than what they are. We sort of got rid of them, and hopefully we can just sort of build, a bit more of a team rather than having some superstars that they are good, occasionally, but they weren't really that consistent.
Yeah, and I just want to read this to you. Stephen Lilly with a $2 super chat. He says, please tell the Aussies I'm praying for them at the moment. Yeah, I hope everything's, obviously you're dealing with the fires over there. I hope everything's all right.
Everything's good, Entertainer. I know you got a lot of calls, but yeah, really enjoy watching your channel, and hopefully we can can phone in again in the future.
For sure, man. No, definitely, man. I always love talking to people from outside the country, man. It's great that you're a big fan of the Giants, and thank you for supporting my channel.
No worries, brother. Enjoy your day.
You got it, man. Thanks for the call. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Chris, it's Clocks.
Clocks, what's up, Clocks? Clock. Oh, I'm curious to see what Clocks thinks about this hire. What's up, Clocks?
Chris, I watched the Judge interview.
Yeah.
I watched your video, which I always watch, but right now on my home computer, my numbers are not working because I leaked some alcohol on them, so I have to get the computer fixed. But I have to ask you a couple of questions, bro, because you really are. Okay, let me ask you a question. I know you're younger than me, but do you know, and I know you're not in finance, do you know who Alan Greenspan is?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. In late 90s, early 2000s, Alan Greenspan said that the stock market was exhibiting irrational exuberance. It's a famous line about the stock market because anything that had a .com was trading like 1,000 times earnings.
Right. Yes.
And the market... the market crashed. And the market crashed after that. Okay, so you know what? Just give me 2 minutes, then I'll let you talk.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So here we go about football. Let's talk about Judge's CV. Okay, he was an assistant with the Saban, who basically gets 40% of the greatest athletes in the United States. Which basically means that if you are coming out of high school and you're going to be a number one, you got a number two on the left side and a number one on the right side. So when he says that we won multiple championships, that really doesn't mean anything to me.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything as a coach to me as much. And you know how much of a Daniel Jones retractor I was as much as you were. But you know what? I'm going to tell you that I'm going to give Daniel Jones a chance because he came out of Duke with no talent. Okay? So that's the first thing. Hold on 1 second. Let me tell my story.
No, keep going.
Okay. So then he goes and coaches, assistant coach, to the greatest coach in the history of football, who's never had an assistant, who, by the way, Nick Saban was never, not profitable. He was never a good NFL coach. He got the greatest talent in the world, and he's doing what he's doing in college. What he did in NFL was nothing. So now you got the greatest coach in the NFL, and Judge wins a couple of NFL championships. To the greatest NFL coach in the history of football,
right?
Who has never had an assistant that has any marketable success in the NFL.
Right.
Okay. So those are two things. Now, why would you get this irrational exuberance over a conference? Why would you think anything less that Judge would say when he's going to interview with two billionaires who have had multiple coaching, interviews.
Right.
And I know that I know that Maris said that this is the best interview he's ever had.
Mhm.
I watched the interview and I watched your video, which this is why I'm calling in, because of your video, because I didn't think you would be sold so quickly. So just let me finish. So why would you think that just listening to this interview that you're sold on everything he said? Why would you think anything less about Judge? How could he ever sell the public before he sells two billionaire owners on a GM that I think is crap?
Right.
Crap.
Right.
Crap.
Yeah, I know you. I know you're.
Why-
Not, I know you're not a Gettleman guy.
No, but why? But hold
all
on.
right.
Why would you think that it would be anything less than accent, and then get crazy, irrational exuberance?
Well,
as Alan Greenspan said about the stock market, when anything that had a .com on it was trading 1,000 times earnings. This is exactly what you are doing.
All right,
this is what.
Can I respond? Can I respond?
Go ahead. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. First off, in my video, I never once said that this guy is going to be Bill Belichick. I said that I'm behind the guy and I'm going to give him a chance, and I think he could be a great head coach. I would have gotten behind any coach.
Chris, hold on right there. See, right there. Anybody
Wait, let me ask you. Clocks. I let you talk for
be a good head coach.
I let you talk for 4 minutes,
Can be a
Clocks.
good head coach.
I let you
Why
talk.
can't the Giants make a solid move?
But we don't know.
Why can't we have an identity?
But we don't know if this is not a solid move yet. How could you judge this guy before he even steps foot on a football field? No, I am
Chris,
not.
I'm not judging him. I'm judging a team that's had two other coaches in the last 5 years. I'm judging a GM. Chris, I'm judging a GM that lied to us. And now we know that Pat Schumer actually wanted Daniel Jones when he said that he actually had Jones rated above or equal to Josh Allen. Chris, this is what I'm saying. This is a team in chaos. You don't understand it.
No. I know. I say it all the time. I say it all the time. I say that the team. I wouldn't. Maybe I don't use the word chaos, but I say it all the time that don't expect to get the top tier head coach because they flip coach after flipping coach. But I am not going to be negative about a hire before I see the guy coach a football game, before I see the guy organize a staff. And I thought if you're being fair, I thought he had a very impressive press conference today. I thought he was very well spoken. I thought he said.
Chris, honestly, can I ask you a question? You go into like a six-figure, because I know 6 figures is a lot of money for you. You go into a 6-figure interview. If I think you're worthy of it, don't you think that I know you're going to impress the interview? Don't you think I know that you are going to impress a press conference? What you're telling me right now is that his CV, that you were impressed with his CV. Why would I be impressed with a guy who's won multiple championships with a team that gets 40-50% of the greatest athletes in the United States?
Then don't.
Chris, let me finish. And why would I be impressed with a guy who's been an assistant to a guy who's never had an assistant that's been a head coach that has actually just been good?
Here's what else. First, I'm going to get. Thank you so much, David. I'll read that after. Thank you so much for the super chat. I'm going to let you go after this just because I have a lot of people calling in. I do always appreciate you on my channel, Clocks. But here's what I'll say. Brian Flores is a perfect example. I mean, yes, he only won 5 games this year, but the Miami Dolphins were supposed to win 0 or 1. You talk to any Miami Dolphin fan, they all said he did a great job this year for the Dolphins. He's under the Bill Belichick coaching tree. I don't like Bill O'Brien, but Bill O'Brien has had some pretty good success with the Houston Texans. He's under the Bill Belichick, so there is some success. Now, have they met Bill Belichick? No. And I think part of that is the fact that they try to do what Bill Belichick does before they're ready. But Bill Belichick is smart enough to get good minds around him. That's why he's successful as he is. I do think this guy has potential. I'm not going to say he's going to be great, but I'm going to say give him a chance and he could be great. Got to give him a chance. We got to see what we got, Clocks. Just like with Daniel Jones. I wasn't in love with Daniel Jones when they drafted him, but I'm going to give the guy a chance. Got to give him a chance. There's no point in being miserable and saying the guy's going to suck before we even see what he's got. We got to hope he works out. That's my take. That's my take on it.
No, and I understand that being a fan, but I don't understand your exuberance over a press conference that he said all the right things. That's all I'm trying to say. If he didn't impress me in the press conference, I would say, how did he impress two billionaires to hire him?
I get your point. I get your point. I get your point. I get your point. I got to let you go because a lot of people calling in. But Clocks, man, I appreciate the call, man. I do appreciate the call. Have a good one, buddy. Have a good one. And David, man, thank you so much for the love, man. He says, hang up on this clown. Thank you for the love, David. I really appreciate that. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Wow, that last guy was something, sweetie. He was something else.
Yeah, Clocks is a what's the word? He's I love Clocks. He's a passionate fan, but he's very
he's a rambler. He's definitely a rambler.
Yeah.
So if you won the Super Bowl, would you want some vag or some peas?
Oh, I would want both, and I really appreciate the call. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. I had a feeling because the voice sounded a little sketchy, but I do respect the LBGQZYX community. But I tried to give him a chance there, and he asked me if I wanted vag or peen, and I'd go with vag. I don't know why I said both. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Shana, what's going on? How you doing, man?
What is going? Is this Brandon Rogers?
Yes, sir.
What's going on, Brandon?
Shana, how you doing, man? How you liking the hire?
I am right now. I'm behind it. I'm happy. I thought he did a great job. I think he fits the mold of this team, and I hope he works out. He's young. He's youthful. He brings energy. And I think he's the right guy for the lead role right now. I do like it.
So, are you on board? Because I've seen rumors about Freddie Kitchens and Jason Garrett. Are you on board with them joining the staff?
I wouldn't be opposed to Freddie Kitchens. I think I would prefer Kitchens be in more of a secondary role outside of the offensive coordinator, maybe as a running backs coach, quarterback coach, something like that. He's had experience doing both. I wouldn't cry if he was the OC. He had success there with Baker Mayfield in his rookie year. But I'd probably prefer him maybe as a quarterback or coach or a running back coach. But if they make him the OC, I'm not going to be upset about it.
Or would you rather have McDaniels or Eric Bieniemy or I know you would have had Matt Rule over him, but the money that he got in the years. But how about Mike McCarthy or would you rather have those guys over Joe Judge? Were you thinking of them more than Joe? Obviously.
I mean when I made my rankings, I made them based. I didn't even look at this. You go back and look at my preview video. I like Joe Judge. I thought he was a good candidate. I just thought that the Giants were going to view him as a guy that didn't have enough experience for them to consider because the Giants have never had a history of hiring guys like that. There is history of guys being hired with a background like his. I did a video on it. Mike Tomlin, Harbaugh, guys like that. But the Giants have never gone out on the limb and hired a guy like that. So I did like his background, but I didn't really consider him a realistic candidate. So I kind of just ranked my realistic candidates, guys that I thought could fit the Giant job. And when in that aspect, I had this was after Rivera was gone. I had rule number one. Rivera would have been one for me. I had Rivera one. I had rule one. I think I had Martindale 2. I had Bieniemy 3, and I had McCarthy 4. But I was not opposed to Judge. I thought he had a good high upside. High upside.
Okay. But here's the thing. I was very high on Josh McDaniels coming out of in this head coaching vacancy for all the teams. I think he would have fit the Cowboys well, the Giants, or whoever he would have went to. It sounded like he's going to the Browns now, but I think the NFC East got a lot better with these coaches. You got guys like Rivera, McCarthy, and even Joe Judge. Joe Judge is going to add something, and I think the Cowboys. I'm not trying to switch it or nothing about me keeping the NFC East, but I think McCarthy and Rivera are probably two of the best hires out of this whole thing. Because you look at McCarthy, he's got the pedigree, he's got the success, he's got the resume. Same with Rivera. They both led their teams to Super Bowls. I mean, Rivera didn't win it obviously, but they have the experience, and I think it with Joe Judge too. They're all experienced. Obviously he's coming from Belichick and all, and that's what people like about it.
Yeah.
And I think I think I like it because, he has that philosophy like Belichick does to bring on a good staff, same with McCarthy and Rivera. So I think the NFC East got a lot better with these head coaches.
Listen, I'm a big Rivera guy. I would have been very happy with Rivera if the Giants were able to get him. I don't think the Carolina Panthers should have ever let him go. And I think he's a good fit there. I think he's a good fit there with the Redskins, but who knows? The Redskins have screwed up a lot of situations where you think it's going to look really good, and then it turns out not to be. But I do think that they have a good staff. I think Del Rio was a good pickup for them as well as a defensive coordinator.
Del Rio, yeah.
So I do think the Redskins did a good job this offseason with the coaching staff. The Cowboys, we'll see. McCarthy's got a resume, and Dallas has talent. I'm not a huge McCarthy guy. I'm not, but maybe he'll prove me wrong. I'm not a huge. I didn't want McCarthy. I wouldn't have cried if we got him based on his experience, but I'm not a huge McCarthy guy.
Here's the thing about McCarthy that I like. Obviously he hasn't had good success without Aaron Rodgers. The season he went down and all. But I think what McCarthy does, him and Kellen Moore can help out Dak in that offense a lot, assuming they get Amari Cooper back. But I think, who he else brought on. If he brings on John Fossil, the special teams coach, over from the Rams, I think that's a big hire. I think if he would have hired Wade Phillips, I think that coaching staff for Dallas would have been even better. But, I think Dallas is in a good position now to win for sure.
Oh, listen, I'll say this about McCarthy. I'm thinking from a Giants perspective. From a Cowboys perspective, I think McCarthy's a much better fit for the Cowboys than he is the Giants. And I think Judge is probably a better fit for the Giants than McCarthy would be. I think McCarthy's an older coach. He's a guy that wants to come into a situation where he could win right away. But we'll see. I think a lot of McCarthy's success had to do with Aaron Rodgers. I still think that, and we're going to find out because Dak Prescott's not nearly as talented as Aaron Rodgers. We'll see if he abandons the run like he did in Green Bay. If he does that, I don't expect Dallas to have success. If he gets to what they should be doing, they could have success. He's got the talent there.
Yeah. Tana, I just got two more quick things for you, just quick little things. Just one quick question, and then obviously next year, I'm just going to throw this out to you. Are Doug Peterson and Matt Nagy on the hot seat? Coming into this year.
I would say Peterson, no. I could understand why people would say it. If anything, I think the coordinators could be on the hot seat. Yes, Nagy, yes. If the Bears have another disappointing season, I would say Peterson's probably because they won the division, they won the Super Bowl too. I would say Peterson's got at least another year after this year, but Nagy, I would say, is on the hot seat.
Okay, and then my last thing to you before I go, we're walking into Green Bay and we're coming off that dub. I'm confident. Let's go.
All right, man. I'll be calling the game and we'll see how it turns out, man. I got the Packers.
Sure.
All right, buddy, man.
Thanks
for the call, my man.
For
Thanks
sure,
for the
man.
call.
Appreciate you taking my call.
You got it, Brandon. Tana, I'm wondering. I'm trying to answer some questions in the chat. Tana, I'm wondering what the hell we were doing with the defense. Yeah, well, we'll know with the defensive coordinator soon. We'll see who they bring in. We don't know yet. We got to wait till we see the coaching staff. And I'll go till 8 because I still have a lot of callers. I try to get to as many as I can. After that, I got to take a break. I got to eat.
Hello?
Yeah, you're here. What's going on?
Hey, what's up? What's up, Chris Entertainer? This is Isaiah, man.
What's going on, my man? Thank you for calling in, buddy.
Hey, man, I'm a big fan of you, Bad Dog, and all y'all, man. Y'all doing your thing, man. Keep doing your thing. Quick question, because I'm at work.
I don't want you to get fired.
No. I'm security. I'm doing my rounds.
All right.
Quick question. I like the head coach, but I don't trust Dave Gettleman, man. I don't trust him, man.
What?
Like everybody else, he just keep lying. Like we cannot get the truth out of him.
Well, I'll tell you what. I get it. He definitely he lied about Odell Beckham, right? That's what everybody points to.
Exactly, man. Good talent too.
I get it. I just think we gotta hope he keeps doing what he has done well, which is draft. Even the biggest Dave Gettleman detractor, I think, would tell you that he's done a good job drafting, and I think that's why he kept his job. So we'll see. We gotta hope he drafts well this year. Gettleman might not be here for much longer. He might be a guy that's gonna be here for another year or two, and then they'll bring in a more youthful GM. But I think they left Gettleman on because they know how important it is to draft this year. They got 9 or 10 picks, and I think that's why they left him on. I think that's why he kept his job.
Yeah, and another question. I think we should give Freddie Kitchens a shot, man, because He was with Odell and all them like that. That was like a circus team right there. He ain't really get a full idea of that football team. So I think we should bring him in and give him a shot. Like, it don't hurt. Like, us Giants fans of New Yorkers, we gotta learn to wait patient. Everything don't work as fast as we want. We fast. We want everything done. We want to win Super Bowls now. But we just gotta wait and let Coach Judge do his thing, man. That's the best we can do right now.
Yeah.
Wait.
And
no patience, man.
I agree. And Brandon says if Gettleman goes, so does Judge. I don't necessarily agree with that.
I don't agree with that either.
The reason,
just tired him.
Yeah, well,
tired him.
I get why he says that, because it's going to be hard to bring on a GM that you force the coach on. So I get that, but they could promote from within the organization, similar to what they did with Jerry Reese.
Exactly.
They could promote Abrams. Dave Gettleman is up there in age. He's had health problems. I don't think he's going to be here for more than 3 more years, in my personal opinion.
And that's it. But my thing, and another thing, I got 2 more questions. I know you want to get back to everybody calling, and I got to get back to my booth. Another thing, we need to build up that office for Saquon, man. This man he's too talented. We cannot let this talent waste. We had too many talent that waste. Look at Odell. Too many talent we let waste. We gotta help this offensive line for Saquon, man. Daniel Jones can't do it by himself. He can't carry the team by himself. We got to. Eli did it 2 times, 2011 and 2007, with a bad offensive line and still won 2 Super Bowls. MVPs. We gotta get the offensive line right.
Yeah, no, well, that's been the Giants' problem for 7 or 8 years now. We got to help out Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones.
You can't go to the postseason throwing. You gotta have some type of running game. You can't. You got to. We had a mob pressure. We was running that ball. Special team was doing their thing. And I like David Slayton. Everybody keeps saying David Slayton remind me of Victor Cruz. He remind me of a Dominic Hickson. Nice and tall and sneaky. Not as fast as Dominic Hickson, but his route running, if you look at him, his route running reminds you of Dominic Hickson. That's what he reminds. People keep forgetting about Dominic Hickson. He was a good receiver too, a special team.
He was solid. He was solid. I mean, hopefully he's better than Hickson, but yeah, he was solid.
Yeah, he was solid, Yeah, but another thing before I go, I'm going to give a shout out to Bad Dog. I'm a Bad Dog to keep doing his thing. Fitz Vegas, and other describers out there that's doing their thing. Blue Nation, we got this year. Just give Coach Judge his props. Just give him time, and we're going to get this. Hopefully we get the Super Bowl playoffs. Hopefully we get 8 or 10 wins. Hopefully.
Let's go.
We just got to win. We just got to wait, man.
Let's go.
Right, man, I'm going to let you go, man.
I appreciate the call, man. Have a good shift at work.
You too, man. Keep doing your thing, man. Just pivot. Travel, man. Keep doing your thing, man.
I appreciate it, buddy. Have a good one. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you. What's going on, King Envy? Thanks for popping in. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, how's it going, man? Quick question. I mean, I know the Giants, look, I'm a huge fan. I know that they're going to be a couple years away from competing. As much as I'd love them to take Andrew Thomas at 4, do you think they should trade back and maybe get some more picks and maybe take a guy like CeeDee Lamb or maybe take Derek Brown, something like that?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, somebody actually asked me that question, I think, on Twitter today, if I'm not mistaken, and I think that's the optimal situation, depending on, the package that's offered. But let's just say, hypothetically, the Chargers, who were picking at 6, come to us with a package similar to what the Jets gave up to move up from 6 to 3. They say, we're going to give you 2 seconds and a third, and, you come back to 6. You're probably still getting your guy there because more than likely the Chargers and Dolphins could still take quarterbacks. You're probably still getting your guy. I think the optimal situation, depending on the package that's offered, is a trade back. Obviously we need a quarterback to really shine, like a Tua or a someone like that, a Fromm, whoever, for a team to want to jump up and get one. But yeah, in a perfect world, I think a trade down is ideal this draft.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be perfect as well, especially if they can trade back and still get Thomas, because they definitely need to do something about that left tackle spot. Maybe move Solder to the right and draft somebody, but I mean, he's got to make a change there. I mean, I don't fault him for making that Solder pick because Jerry Reese forced his hand by drafting Flowers, but I mean, he just gives up too many sacks, and Jones is going to get killed.
Yeah, well, we can't make the same mistake the Jets did. Okay, the Jets, I thought, did a pretty good job the year they drafted Darnold, and then this past offseason they had $100 million in cap space. They didn't address the offensive line at all for their second-year quarterback, and you saw Darnold suffer mightily because of it. The Giants can't do that. The Giants have to make sure they improve that offensive line and make sure that they protect Daniel Jones the best they can. That's got to be probably the most important thing this offseason. I know we need to improve the defense, but you got a rookie quarterback, second-year quarterback. You got to make sure he's comfortable back there.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I know this year the defense was their weakest part of the team, but in my opinion, I agree with you. They got to work on something on that offensive line. I mean, I think that's what hurt Eli his whole second half of his career, because Reese refused to, address that line. And I understand that, supreme, like the best left tackles don't normally hit the open free agent market until they're too old to really be that as good as they were. But I think they gotta address that in the draft. I would love to see him take Thomas, take Simmons too if they don't trade back. But I think Thomas is the move they gotta make.
I'd be happy with either one. And like I said to a caller earlier, I think a lot of it's going to be dictated on who we take in free agency. If we take a Conklin in free agency, we're not going to draft an Andrew Thomas. We're probably going to go with a defensive player. So, we could also go. A lot of people aren't even talking about Okudah. We could go with him, the talented cornerback. So there's a lot of ways.
With that either.
There's a lot of ways we could go here in this draft. So that's what's interesting with the fourth pick. Well, we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, man. Anything else, buddy?
Nah, I appreciate you taking my call. I just found your channel about a month ago, and I love it, man. Keep up doing what you're doing, man.
Well,
Appreciate it.
I appreciate that, man. Hopefully you stick around. It's gonna trust me. I'm gonna have daily content probably all the way up until June about the Giants every day. So, and then I'll probably take a month or two break talking basketball. But thank you so much for the call, man. I appreciate you being a great subscriber. Thank you, man. All right. Next, and I see Ryu's in the chat, one of my best subscribers. By the way, if any one of my guys in the Discord, I know Ryu's in there, Karambite's in there. Anybody wants to post that Discord for anybody to join, you guys are always more than welcome to. It's just basically a sports chat room. We talk sports all day. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Yo, what's good? You having a nice day?
I'm sorry, who's this?
I'm Sai. I'm actually not even a Giants fan. I'm a Redskin fan, but I like to kind of catch up on other, teams in the division. I like to follow kind of other YouTubers, content creators, and stuff. And
no, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. What's up, man? What do you want to talk about?
I was trying to talk about the new hires, in our division, and where do you think? Because it's always like a two-team race in our division, and I feel like this year the Redskins and the Giants could really upset and surprise people because with the new hirings, and I wanted to see what's your take on the division this year.
I'll tell you what, it's interesting that I don't know if it's gonna happen this year, but I do think in maybe 2 years, both the Redskins and Giants might be at the top of the division. I think it's incredibly possible. Last year was obviously a year in where they both drafted their quarterback. Now they both have new head coaches. It's a completely new direction they're going. It's an interesting time for both those teams. I don't know if you guys are going to do it this year or we're going to do it this year, but I think in 2 years, both the Giants and Redskins could be at the top of the division. And a lot of people might not agree with that, but I could definitely see it with the cap situation in Philadelphia, with the Cowboys having to give money to Dak and everything else. I could see the Redskins and Giants at the top of the division before you know it. And Chris K, man, thank you for becoming a member, man. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you very much, man. Great subscriber, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think both teams have a pretty bright future right now. Obviously, Haskins is going to be a big part of your team. He's got to improve.
Yeah, I feel like, to be honest, both quarterbacks are kind of too early to judge because what happened with Baker's rookie year, he kind of shook the league at the end, and this year he kind of looked like he regressed.
Yeah.
Even though they added talent around him.
Yeah, well, I think part of the problem, one thing I think that Baker was probably full of himself. To me, he doesn't come across the guy that puts in a lot of work. He probably took it for granted a little bit. The other thing, they lost a lot of talent on the offensive line. They traded us Zeitler, and I think that had something to do with it as well. Plus, there was a coaching change. So there was a lot of variables with the Cleveland Browns this year. I think a lot of people just are fantasy football players, and they see all these big names going to Cleveland, and they're like, oh, my God, they're going to be unbelievable. No. Football's a team sport. Okay? And Odell Beckham, how many wins did he result with the New York Giants? You need a team. And, they had a lot of combustible players in that locker room. I think a lot of people didn't take that into account this year. So I still think Mayfield could be good. We'll see how he bounces back year 3. But, yeah, you never know with quarterbacks. You don't know until at least year 3 or 4.
No, thank you for your time, and have a nice day.
You got it, man. Thank you so much for the call, man. I appreciate it. And, yeah, I'll stay on for another 10, 15 minutes if we get a couple of calls. I know I had a couple more that are coming in. In the meantime, I'll... oh, there's one. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Entertainer.
What's going on? Who's this?
This is Nitin, but I'm also the channel with like the weird letters. It starts with like a U.
Oh, all right. What's up,
You may
man?
have seen me.
What's up, man?
Nothing. I just wanted to. I'm from Arkansas, and here there's like a bunch of Cowboys fans. Kind of annoying, you know.
Yeah, wow. I don't think I've ever talked to somebody from Arkansas. That's awesome. What's going on,
Yeah.
buddy? What's going on, my man?
Nothing.
So you're a Giants fan, I assume?
Yeah, I am.
How did you become a Giants fan living in Arkansas?
Well, I was born in New York.
Oh, okay.
And then I was also like, and then that this Eli Manning second Super Bowl was like, it was a great game.
Oh, it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal.
And I loved it. I loved Eli Manning.
So what did you think about the interview today by Joe Judge?
I think he's like a good young candidate. Coach for the Giants. I think he could like connect well with the players because of his age.
Yeah, I think there was a lot. I think most Giant fans, it seemed on my channel at least, were definitely in favor of going for a younger hire.
Yeah.
And that's what happened, and hopefully he's the guy that works out.
Yeah. I was also going to ask you about our defensive coordinator. Who do you think could be our defensive coordinator?
It's a great question. There was I can't remember the guy's name at the top of my head. The D-line coach with the Patriots. I did a video on him yesterday. Former head coach for the Badgers and the Razorbacks. So you should know him, living in Arkansas.
Oh yeah, I know him.
Yeah, but I can't remember his name at the top of my head. But he seems to be a guy that they're going to at least look at for the defensive. I'm sure somebody's going to type it in the chat. He seems to be a guy they're looking at for the DC. Wade Phillips is a possibility if they decide to go with the more experienced route. There's a couple other guys. We're going to have to wait and see. I honestly don't know. Gerard Mayo, somebody brought up to me. Pepper Johnson, somebody brought up to me. There's a lot of guys names that people are throwing out, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and also like with the current defensive roster, what kind of like system you think would be best? Like 3-4 or a 4-3, maybe even like a 3-3-5.
Bielema's the guy's name, by the way. Bielema's the guy's name. Brett Bielema. The thing is, I think we have a roster for the most part that could play in both the 3-4 and the 4-3. I think there's a lot of players on this roster that could play in both defenses. If I had to guess, based on the guys that they've brought in for interviews and talked about as potential defensive coordinators, I think they're going to stay in the 3-4. If I had to guess.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I think.
And one last thing, what do you think about like that Grant Haley extension? I think they extended his contract. What do you think about that? You think he's like a good player, like it was a good move by Gettleman or not?
I mean, I didn't see the contract details. What was the I don't know what was the details to the contract, but I mean he was okay.
Like I know. I mean, I think they extended it. They gave him like a 1 year. I forgot how much money, but like, I know he's like a good tackler. I know he can't cover that well, but you think he could like be maybe a good backup or something?
Yeah, I definitely think he's a solid backup. And he's proven to be a good open field tackler, but he's not good in coverage. That's the knock on him. But
yeah,
he's definitely a solid depth piece. I'm not going to get on him for that. Yeah.
Thanks, Entertainer. I love your videos, man.
I really appreciate it, man.
Thank you and Bag Dog.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Chris.
I'll be on with Bad Dog tonight, man. So hopefully you swing by, man. Thanks for the call, man.
All right, see you.
Have a good one. And what's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in. Is this Pat Shermer? Pat? Yeah, it's Pat. Pat doesn't want to talk. I get it, Pat. I get it. Best of luck in the coaching search.
All right.
Oh, he talked just as I hit the hang up button. Oh, no. Pat, call back. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Howdy there, fellas.
Sonora calling again. I got 6 people on the line, Sonora.
Okay. Bye.
All right. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, Chris. Hey, this is not Pat.
This is not okay. So this is not Pat. Oh, this is the guy that just called in.
Yeah, no. This is Anthony. And my thing was on mute.
Oh, what's up, Anthony? How you doing, buddy?
Oh, just enjoying the new coach hire. It's already better than Shermer. I watched the whole press conference, all 30 minutes of it, and I loved it.
Oh, the guy's great. The guy is. I love the press conference. He showed a lot of leadership skills. Very smart. I was sold. I was sold, at least in giving him an opportunity to. I was already sold. I was going to give him an opportunity no matter what, but I was encouraged by the press conference. I thought he did a great job, and yeah, hopefully it picks out the right staff, and we get things going this year in the right direction.
I think so. I enjoyed hearing what he had to say, how he handled the New York media, too. He had an answer. He didn't look, I guess, like, I don't know. It's all new to him. He's now a head coach. It's a completely different ball game. I think he's going to get this team back on track. One of the biggest things I liked that I took away was he believes heavily in the run game, and that's exactly what we need. We need an offensive line. We need to utilize Barkley and just squeeze every bit of talent we have out of the guy, and obviously protect Daniel Jones. And then we got to stop. We got to stop the run for the other teams. We got to shut down those wide receivers. And like you said in your last video, we got to punch them in the nose for 60 minutes.
Yeah, well, that's what he said, and I loved hearing it, and I loved everything the guy had to say. I've recapped it all throughout the show, but I loved everything the guy had to say, and I'm encouraged by it, and I hope Giants fans are too. Hopefully, like I keep saying, just give the guy a chance. I know a lot of people were gonna be negative about it as soon as the news came out, and I get it. The guy has a limited resume, but there's no point in being miserable as fans. Why are you gonna be miserable just to be miserable? You got to give the guy a shot and hope it works out.
Yeah, we all learned that with DJ.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I learned that with DJ. So
yeah, so did I draft night. Yeah, I wasn't too happy, but it's funny. It's the same thing with this Joe Judge hire. I was initially pissed off. I was just done with everything. I was just mad, but after I had, about an hour and a half to cool down and really, get my thoughts collected and really, evaluate it, I was like, you know what? Let me give him a chance, see what he's got to bring to the table.
Yeah, and I think he answered a lot of people's questions today, and let's just give him a shot. Let's see what he's got going forward, man. That's all I can say, man, and yeah, that's all I can say, man. I'm just really looking forward to this offseason now with what he's going to do in terms of the coaching. Obviously, I'm going to cover that. Every coach he brings in, I'll have a video on, and that, and obviously the free agency, we're going to be highly active there, and we're going to have a whole new team next year, and it's going to be fun and exciting, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it too, and I plan on going to the Meadowlands. My dad, we're looking to go to the Dallas game. You should come. I want to meet you. I want to meet Bad Dog. I want to meet everybody.
We're definitely going to organize. We're going to one game. We haven't decided which one yet, but we're going to let everybody know. At least a few months before the season starts, what game we're going to be going to.
Okay, that's good to know because that'll give me some time to plan. I think it'd be fun, dude. I got to see Barkley in real life.
Oh, he's a beast. He's a beast.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I love him.
All right, man. Thanks for the call, buddy.
All right, thanks, Chris.
You got it, man. Have a good one, my man. And you should go to the Seattle. What's up, Big Blue Flight? That game's in Seattle. I might. Big Blue Flight, another phenomenal subscriber. I might go to one road game this year. I haven't decided yet. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, how you doing, man? This is Peter, a fellow Stony Brook alumni. How's it going?
What's going on, Peter? Thanks for calling in, buddy.
Hey, man. I mean, honestly, with this hire, I was initially baffled. I didn't know what to say. But when listening to him, I understood the team's perspective. He's a process guy, and a lot of things need to be cleaned up. And I understand we had the previous coordinators that had their gimmicks and stuff like that. So this guy really seems like he's by the book, and he seems like he's old school, and he seems like he's going to be the cleanup man. It's going to take time.
Yeah.
That's what I honestly think.
But that's what we have to let happen. And I know, New York fans don't do that, but we have to. Yeah? We can't, next year we can't be screaming, fire this guy, because how could you expect this guy to thrive? When you got a young team, he's a young coach, he's never been a head coach before. It's not going to have instances. Well, I hope it does, but rationally speaking, we're not going to be 12-win team next year. Hopefully we are, but we gotta give him some time to get better at his job.
Yeah, it's gonna take time, and I hope we draft a tackle because we're gonna need the tackle to go up against Chase Young. Redskins are gonna get Chase Young, so we need that tackle to go up against him every time we play him, and
that's what I'm thinking
also,
too. That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah, I trust Gellerman with the draft. I don't trust him with free agency. To be honest,
that's a fair take. I mean, Gettleman has not done well in. I'm gonna be fair. He's been given limited cap space for the majority of his time here, but with that cap space he's been provided, and thank you, Chris, for the super chat. I really appreciate that. With that cap space he's been provided with, he has not done well. So that's a fair take. That's a fair concern. That you don't trust him in free agency. And one thing I will say, though, it sounds like this guy, Joe Judge, is going to have some say in the decisions in free agency as well as the draft. It seems like he's going to have a lot of input.
Yeah, I hope so, and I hope we hire Garrett as an OC. I mean, honestly, some people don't like that, but I think it's a good move for Daniel Jones. He'll be able to groom him. He'll be able to kind of help him along, So I hope that happens for defense. I don't know who they want to hire for that, but OC, I'm for Garrett. Kitchens, I don't want Kitchens at all. So let's hope for the best.
Hey, man, let's just whoever they hire, let's just hope it works out. And no matter who they hire, I think we all got to give them a year to work together, and then we assess it going into the next offseason, and we see where we're at.
We got to give this guy 3 years. He's like Tom
Oh, yeah.
Coughlin.
Oh, no.
Like
I know. I'm saying before we even have an opinion, we got to give him a full season. But, yeah, I'm not even going to talk about moving up from another coach for at least 3 years. I personally want to give him 5. I know New York fans won't allow that, but we got to give him at least 3 years.
The image we have right now is 2 and done. We have to give this guy 3. That's why we got him. Because nobody wants to coach here, to be honest.
Listen,
so
I've been preaching that for months.
That's why they did that.
I've been preaching that for months. I always try to put my hat on as if I'm the guy in that position when I do a video. And I say to myself, if I was a head coach and I'm going in for job interviews, okay, I'm looking at Carolina. Carolina went to a Super Bowl pretty recently. They're 15-1. They held a head coach for 9 years. There's option number 1. I got Dallas. Dallas has one of the more talented rosters in the sport. They've kept Jason Garrett for 10 years. And then I've got the Giants. They just fired 2 coaches in 3 years. Yeah.
If I was Matt Rule, I would go to Panthers first. I wouldn't go to the Giants first.
You got to be fair. We've been unstable the last 3 or 4 years. You got to be fair. We were not the most attractive destination.
Yeah. Well, keep up the good job, man. I really enjoyed the podcast. It helps me. I'm all the way out in Texas, so I got to deal with all these dusty Cowboys fans. So, all right, man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate the call, man. Thank you so much for the call, and thank you for being a great subscriber, man. And thank you for being a Giant. Thank you for representing us in Texas. That's got to be tough.
Oh yeah. All right, bro. No problem.
All right. Have a good one, my man. Have a good one. Ooh, what's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on? Who's this?
This is Brandon.
Brandon, what's up, buddy?
None too much. I love this hire. At first I was a little disappointed, but I'm pretty happy now.
Yeah, well, I think most people were, at least initial. Most. I'm not saying all, but I think a lot of, at least shocked. Maybe not disappointed. I think shock is the right word. I think most people were shocked when we made the hire we did. But yeah, I think after today, man, I think I would think most Giant fans will at least be like, you know what? I got to at least see what this guy's got. And that's all I'm asking for. I'm not telling you this guy's the next Bill Belichick.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, we hope the next Bill Belichick.
Of course, we hope. We hope. He could be. Anything's possible.
I hope so. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. But, yeah, so you like the Judge. You like the, what was your favorite part about the press conference today?
I think his determination to win, get out there and discipline and all that stuff, hard-nosed football will smash you in the face for 60 minutes. I love that.
Yeah, that was a good thing. He to me sounded a lot like Parcells, like I've said all day. The fact that he wants to get the most out of his players, the fact that he wants to expose the opponent's weaknesses, where he might change his game plan on a game-in, game-out basis. A lot of good stuff. Yeah, I just think he handled himself really well. So I thought it was a great press conference.
Yeah, I was really impressed with it. That definitely changed my mind a lot.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. But anything else, my man?
No, but thanks for the awesome videos, and I'm always a subscriber, so thank you.
I appreciate that, man, and thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel.
Of course.
Have a good one. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
How you doing, sir?
What's going on? Who's this?
This is Cody, big-time Giants fan, calling from Mississippi.
What? Yeah, that's the best thing about this channel. I talk to so many Giants fans from. I got a call from Arkansas. I got a call from Australia. Now I got a call from
Yes, sir.
Mississippi. How did you become a Giant fan from Mississippi? How did that happen?
Okay, so originally Eli was from Ole Miss at
Ah.
college, and I got to see him play at college.
Okay.
I got to go to most of the Ole Miss games. Of course, I share the same birthday as Tom Coughlin as well, August 31st. What's really interesting about what people don't understand about Eli is he's very humble. I don't think you've seen any other quarterbacks in the NFL as humble as him. The way he carries himself through all the losses, and people blame him for, so many games that he's lost. How many times have you seen him, cowered out on an interview,
Listen, man, my favorite thing about Eli Manning, I love it. If you're part of my channel, you probably know Eli Manning is my favorite player ever. But my my favorite trait about Eli Manning is that he never points the finger at anybody. When he always has a reason to. He throughout his entire career, he could have said, "Listen, Jerry Reese can't draft for shit. This guy didn't give me any pieces around me. My offensive line can't block." He
and
never.
that's what's sad.
He never complained once, and he had every right to. Never did it, and that's my favorite thing about Eli.
and that's the that's what a lot of fans don't understand. They're all happy about Daniel Jones. I understand. We drafted him, and we got to stand behind him, just like we're standing with this head coach. I love the head coach. I love everything he said. I watched the whole press conference. Loved it. I think we're going to get a coach. I'm not trying to compare him to Coughlin, but I think he's got some traits that we're going to need in this locker room. Turn all this negative locker room ever since they had, Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie being on Facebook Live, showing the whole locker room, I mean, it's cool to show the locker room, but, it's fundamentals, It's time to stop the run. It's time to get, everybody playing 110%. Don't give up. I mean, we've seen us last year. They were saying, Pat Shermer, oh, we weren't giving up. Yeah, we were. We were giving up.
Yeah, no.
Plain and simple.
Yeah, the team didn't have any fire.
I think he's going to be probably the best coach that we've had since Coughlin. I hope he hires a very good staff. I've heard all the rumors about Freddie Kitchens. I keep up with football very, very, let's just say, throughout my whole life. I'm 24 years old.
Right.
I think they know what they need to do. They just got to put a, product on the field. Yeah, it sucks. We traded Odell. I have plenty of Giants jerseys. My favorite player of all time will be Eli. After that, it has to be Odell because you're never going to get a generational talent like that again.
Oh, no, he was a phenomenal wide receiver, for sure.
It's when's the last time we've had a receiver, look that good?
No, I mean, I just want to say I saw Soul Brother pop in. MH is in here. Thank you guys for being here. Yeah, I mean, the only other guy, off the top of my head, the one guy that maybe could compare to him since I've been watching the team for 1 year was Victor Cruz in 2011. Victor Cruz that year was ridiculous, but outside,
I will never get tired of seeing Salsa all over in that end zone.
Right,
that man was. From Patterson, New Jersey,
that guy was a beast. And that guy was a legend.
Oh yeah, especially the Super Bowl catch, man. I thought he was gonna bobble that ball when they threw it behind that defender's back shoulder.
Oh my God! I tell you right now, I know that you're talking about the touchdown early in the game, right?
Yeah, the touchdown, yes sir.
When Eli threw that ball, my heart skipped.
Behind the shoulder, bro. That dude didn't even see the ball coming.
Yeah, because when he threw that ball, I'm like, that's a pick. And I was like, all right, that works. But I was so nervous when he threw that ball to Cruz.
I still get goosebumps of every single thing we've done. Everybody doubted us. We can't beat New England. I'm like, okay, you got all these talented players that actually are in the locker room. Like, we don't have a straight hand in the locker room right now. We don't have, we don't have guys that are actually there physically. I mean, they'll show up to training camp and whatnot. But I've been a big-time Giants fan. I've always dyed blue. No matter what, my father is a Saints fan. I used to go to the Giants and the Saints training camp. I've never missed one. I've always gone every single year.
That's awesome, man.
The Saints, my dad is a big Saints fan. I got to meet Drew Brees. When I told Drew Brees, because I got him from 50 yards down the field, we were in wait, let me think of it. It's in Virginia. Greenbrier, Virginia. That's what it is, Greenbrier. We got to meet the Saints up there. They had a training camp held up there. And usually they'd be in New Orleans. Well, nobody knew they went outdoors to Virginia. And we got to meet him. And we got to sit down with him, eat, how they have the whole quarterback, with the whole guests,
That's awesome.
Together and whatnot, getting to know each other.
That's awesome.
I went out of my way. My dad was nervous, and he couldn't get a Saints autograph. I went out of my way and got to meet Sean Payton. We got a picture with Payton. My dad wanted me to always be a Saints fan. I didn't want to be a Saints fan just because I knew Eli was from Ole Miss. My favorite number was 10. My father figure who passed away was the number 10 when he was in high school. I used to play college ball, so.
That's awesome, man. That's a great story. And obviously Archie is that maybe that's what drew you to Eli a little bit as well. He's from he's from Miss. So
overall, I would love to see the three things out of this team. I'm not going to do any predictions because I like how this head coach is not giving anything out. I mean, he's making sure that he stays in line. And, we haven't had a coach like this, like I said, since Coughlin. Shermer, on the other hand, the players are going to stick up for their coach. I love what Eli said. They blame themselves, and it is. It's not just the coaches. Our players got to play. They got to tackle better. Our defense, I've seen so much slack. Since,
somebody brought it up earlier. That's a bit. The fundamentals alone would win us 2 more games. The poor tackling, that's a big problem. The horrible penalties down the stretch of games, the bad timeouts by Shermer late in games, stuff like that. That results in wins and losses. So if he does that alone,
we ain't gonna talk about the past like this. But what's your thoughts about having Eli if he would have started all these games this year instead of Daniel?
I still don't think we make the playoffs. But I thank you, Craig, for the $2 super chat. You can forget about it. He says, keep growing, man. I appreciate that, man. Thanks for the love, man. My thoughts on... All right, here's my thoughts. I was pretty vocal about this. I don't think they should have benched Eli after 2 weeks, and it's not even because I'm an Eli guy. I was thinking more...
exactly.
I was thinking more for Daniel Jones because I looked at it like a golden opportunity for Daniel Jones to sit and learn the playbook. And I don't think he was ready when they brought him in. Yes, he played great his first game, but that was before defenses got a book on him, before they learned his deficiencies. I thought it would have been ideal for Eli to start the first 8 games, 6 to 8 games, similar to what they did in Eli's rookie year with Kurt Warner. And that's the route I thought they were going to take when they kept Eli on the roster, and they didn't do that. I think they kind of folded to the fans' pressure.
They what they did was with Eli is they failed him again, and they failed him before. Now they're doing the same thing again. Now Eli's got to think about this whole offseason. What does he want to do? My mind tells me if I'm him and he's still healthy, he needs to play.
Here's what I'll say about Eli, and then I gotta let you go because it's getting late. But here's what I'll say about Eli. For me, as a fan of Eli, and I'm a Giant fan first, but I love Eli. I don't want him to play unless it's a situation where he can win. I don't want him to start for the Dolphins. I don't want him to start.
I understand that.
If he could go to a spot like the Colts, just hypothetically, because I know that they said they're down on their quarterback there. If you go to a team like that, the Chargers, if Phillip Rivers retires and they don't want to draft a quarterback for a 1-year deal, go do it. But I don't want you going to a bad spot or competing. If you're going to do that, just retire. So that's what I'm hoping for. But
Yes,
yeah, I'm
sir.
gonna let you go, man. Just thank you for that was a great story you told. Thank you for being a great subscriber, and thank you for the call.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Have a good one, sir.
All right, my man. Have a good one. All right, I am gonna take one more call after this, and then I gotta go because I gotta get a break before Bad Dog Show. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Oh, buddy, how's it going?
What's going on? What who is this? Is this Lily?
It is.
What is going on, Stephen Lilly from across the pond? One of my best man. What? I know you're pumped up today. What did you think about that press conference?
I thought it was really good. But you know what? More than anything else, I just want us to beat the Cowboys next year. I don't give a shit about anything else about beating the Cowboys. That's all I want.
I'm with you, man. How about we beat the Eagles too?
Well, I look at the schedule, and I think new coach coming in is going to be a tough year next year for him to do what he needs to do. But as long as we go and beat them Cowboys, the Eagles as well, I don't really care about them as much. It's always for me about the Cowboys. So as long as we do them Cowboys, who always think they're going to go and win every freaking Super Bowl with all these great caliber people, and they can't even win like any NFC East, which is shit at the minute, just makes me laugh.
Yeah, so that's your goal next year. You don't care. Just beat the Cowboys. Just beat the Cowboys.
For the most part, yeah, because like I want to see progression. The thing with me with Pat Shermer was the guy could not game manage at all, not at all. So as long as this guy can show that he can game manage, start pushing this in the right way, that's all I need from him next year. That's literally it.
And I tell you what, I think he's going to. I forgot where I saw this. I don't remember whose video it was, but somebody brought up the point: the fact that he's a special teams coordinator is probably going to lead him to be a very good manager of the clock, because he's always got to pay attention to all the intricate details, things like that. And I thought that was a good point. So I think he's going to be strong in that department. At least I hope. I think he will. So we'll see. That was, to me, Pat Shermer's biggest fault was that.
Oh, he was terrible. Absolutely useless at doing. Everyone keeps going on about all these other things with Pat Shermer, but if you can't control the game, then what you're doing as head coach, that is the main point of a head coach, to go out there, control the game, have everything set up beforehand that you need to do to implement, but then control the game, and he just couldn't do it in any level whatsoever.
I agree, and the team didn't play hard for him. They didn't fight. By the way, are you getting charged a lot on this call?
Sorry?
Do you get charged a lot when you have to call from England? I'm just curious.
I don't really know. I don't care.
I'm just curious. But
that's where England, didn't I? Do you know what I mean? We've got Aussies calling in, and people from other places. So I thought, right, I better get in there.
Yeah, we're all over the map tonight. I'm wait. One time I got a call from a guy from China. I'm waiting to get one of those. But yeah, Lily's the man. Lily's the best, man. I love talking to Lily. What's your number? Give me your number one free agent target this year, and your number one who you want in the draft at 4. If you're the GM, who do you want?
I don't really know about the free agency so much. Let's see who becomes available. But with the draft, honestly, I want a left tackle. We need to protect Daniel Jones. When was the last time Giants had a decent left tackle? Now, I'm all about getting sacks and stuff like that, but this guy is young. He needs protection, and for me, that is the most important spot that we need to trade. So I suppose I'll go with Thomas, but I want to look at a few other players before I nail on Thomas as it. But a left tackle, that's what I want.
So that in the draft, you want to go left tackle and maybe try to address defense in free agency. And in the later picks in the draft.
Yeah, because look, defense wins your Super Bowls, doesn't it? So defense is what you need to look at. But without your quarterback having protection and being able to play and throw the ball in the right way and be protected, you're not going to get too far either. So yeah, for me at the minute, the left tackle is a serious problem. What we need to do is go and buy Solder a Zuma frame so that he can get around the pitch, because he's getting a little bit old now, and get a backup for him who's going to be nice and young and actually do the job he's meant to fucking do.
Well, now let me ask you about Solder real quick. Do you think it's possible that this guy coming over from New England, obviously Solder had some success in New England. Do you think maybe if we shift him to right tackle, maybe you can get some production out of Solder next year?
Maybe, but no, not for me. And I'll be honest with you, right? I think Judge is too smart and realises where Solder's getting older and that, and he's probably thinking to himself, you know, I don't know what you call them, but what old people's home can we send Solder to so he can watch the Giants from a TV while a young guy is doing his job at left tackle? That would be the best thing, let's be honest.
Oh, I would like to move on from Solder if we could. We'll see.
Oh, definitely.
We'll see. He just makes too much money, but yeah, he's been subpar to say the least. And hopefully we do. Hopefully we find. Hopefully at least we get him to the right side. At the bare minimum, he's not playing left tackle next year.
Yeah, let's hope so. Anyway, I'm going to get off. Let someone else have a go. And I've got one thing to say: 56 is the go, and fuck everyone else.
Stephen Lilly is the best. Love this guy. All right, my man. Have a good one, my man.
See you later.
All right, this is going to be the last caller, so I hope it's a good one. And what's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, what's up, Chris?
What's going on? Who's this?
It's Jeremy, the Real Reality.
What's up? What's up, buddy?
It's going, man. I've been watching for like an hour now, so
I appreciate it.
I think I saw 2 of your videos back in April. Obviously, I saw the famous reaction to us drafting Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
I've seen a
not my proudest moment. Not my proudest moment.
I think we all felt the same exact way. I've seen a few of your videos leading up to December. I think I've been a straightforward fan since December. I've seen all of your videos. I just realized I wasn't subscribed to you a few days ago, so I made sure I subbed so I could be notified every time you went live. You gave me a few shout-outs the other day, or at least read 3 of my messages, I should say.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I want to say I think Rule going to the Panthers was a blessing in disguise from God, because I really think Joe Judge is going to get the job done.
I'll tell you what, a lot of people seem to be sharing that sentiment today, and we're not going to know for a few years. But, you know, I don't even care what Rule does. I just want us to be good. And one thing that Pavith brought up, one of my best subscribers, I thought it was a great point. And who knows, you know, we don't know what Joe Judge is going to bring on for his staff. But what Rule's going to bring on, from all accounts, is a guy with no NFL experience for his defensive coordinator, and a guy with no offensive coordinator experience to be his offensive coordinator. So you can make an argument that Rule is much more risky than our guy, depending on who we bring in as the coordinators. So we'll see how it plays out, man. I think a lot of his success is going to be the people around him. We got to make sure we get the right guys in the right spots.
Yeah, for sure. For the first time ever, it's like our team is young, and it's young everywhere. It's young on offense, it's young on defense, and now we're young on the coaches' side of the ball. So it's like I feel like with as horrible as the East was last year, if this whole coaching staff can take the talent we have and put it in the right direction, we should definitely at least win our division next year. Because when you look at a few of the games we had this year, the loss to the Cardinals, the loss to the Jets, the loss by 5 to the Lions, when on the first play of the game they returned a 7-yard walk-in fumble touchdown. The second game against the Cowboys, if we had if we had the morale going into the Eagles games, those are games we could have won, even though they didn't mean anything at the end of the year. But if we had the domino effect that we needed to have this season, there's no way that if Shermer was somebody that actually cared to fire up the team and win the games and do everything the right way, that we could have won. We could have got the job done.
I love the optimism. I'm just trying to take a more conservative approach, just because I don't want fans to get their hopes way too high and then want to get rid of this coach. So
in
football, anything's possible, right? We saw what happened with McVay with the Rams. So it could happen, but I'm trying to be like, all right, let's try to keep our expectations reasonable, and
and
slowly
I
move
believe
up.
you.
But
Because,
I will say to your point, you could say the same thing the year before with the Giants. They lost 4 games out of their last 8. They could have won all of them.
That's what I was going to say. We had the poor clock management against the Falcons. We should have never lost that game. And so I think, like you said with the press conference and the stuff he said, he seems like a younger version of Belichick, because I don't think anybody was excited about McAdoo. Shermer didn't really give us much to be excited about, but Joe Judge, it feels different now. It feels like, we have Saquon, we have DJ, and if DJ can at least cut his turnovers in half, and now we just got the smart coaching strategies and the mind behind it, maybe it's finally time for us to become the team that we've been dying to become for, because these last 8 years have been heartache after heartache after heartache, and it makes the love for football die, because it's like, oh my God, my favorite team is a laughing stock. I don't care about anything in life more than the Giants, and it's like the suffering that they put us through is insane.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's been tough to be a Giants fan, but I do think we finally have at least some direction, and hopefully he brings some hope. If we could we got to get the right coaching staff around him, and we got to draft well this year, which I think we will. I think Gettleman's shown that he could draft, so...
Yep, we got a whole bunch of money. Hopefully Gettleman spends it the right way.
And that's all we could hope for, man. We got to hope that they know what they're doing, and I will say, Joe Judge, I think, gave a lot of people confidence today that he may be the guy that could get this team going where it needs to be again. So hopefully that's the case, and all we could do is sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Yeah, man, for sure.
All right, my man, thank you for the call. I got to get something to eat, but I appreciate the call. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I'm going to hang up. Thank you for the call, man.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Have a good one, buddy. I want to say thank you to everybody for, I always say it, thank you for watching all my videos. Thank you guys for supporting my channel. Thank you to everybody who donated. Thank you to everybody who called in. Thank you to everybody who just sat there and watched. Everybody who hit that thumbs up. Everybody who might have subscribed. I'm going to be on tonight on Bad Dog Sports in 2 hours, so I need a break. And then, of course, I'll be pumping out content tomorrow. You know I will. I'm a lunatic. And then I'll be on Fist Vegas channel tomorrow as well. And then I'll be live streaming the playoff games. So I'm looking forward to all that. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for all your love and your support. MH, Mike Morena, Pumpkin, Tovar, Joseph Clark, Ernesto, the real reality, Chris K, D Best. Thank you guys. And hopefully you guys enjoy. Stephen Lilly, of course. Marjorie Simmons. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Now have a good one, guys. Have a good one.